This is Culture Crime Fighters. We are a Culture Crimes Task Force so powerful, so far-reaching, not even the most dastardly of villains can escape. Our goal is to identify and defeat all culture criminals wherever they lurk and destroy them. For too long have these cretins carried out their nefarious deeds, and we will sit for it no longer. Beware, you may commit your culture crimes, but if you do, justice will be served at the hands of the Culture Crime Fighters.
What are you?
I'm Vigilante, Williamson.
You went full.
SJW.
Never go full.
SJW.
You don't buy that? Yeah.
President of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy.
You guys are nuts. That's one of my pet peeves, and here you come along with a third pronunciation. Like, what are you doing? Actually, it's pronounced
Stupid bitch.
If you could just be like 25% less brave, that would be great. People were like, there's no way he fucked her. This pig, he didn't fuck this pig.
I think he probably did. I think he didn't give a fuck. Allegedly.
That's just your opinion. It's in England, they say
Audible cunt.
And in America, we say Amber Heard. And that's where the confusion is.
See, I was going with the British way.
Turns out it's a little more nuanced than that.
And I mean, hey, we're in 2021. Any moderately attractive girl can do squats for a few months and put a camera up her ass and become and go viral. So
I don't know. I mean, I'll keep my mind open. I spent all day yesterday on that video. I edited, I cut, I put sound effects and visuals. I'm tap dancing, I'm spinning plates. Although for the life of me, I can't grow it. It's got like 45 fucking views.
You know what I think it is now? Tease the algorithmic guys. Brightest Day is in the chat. His channel's growing because of those shorts. Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how it is.
Man, this has been a fun ride. I thank everybody for being here the whole time. I mean, there's regulars, obviously. Snow the Poopist, the Islington Girl, Man of War 665, Neighbor of the Beast, Just Another Red Shirt. Not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt. The crew. I love you all, man.
You guys are the shit. Love you all. Man of War 665, Lord Thoth, Just Another Red Shirt, Darius Munchausen, 24/7 Fusion Media, Ascension Dildo, Mark D with a C, Snorter Poopus, Android Scanner, the Islington Girl, New Bomb Turk. Everybody, you guys are great. We'll see you all next time. Have a great night.
Peace.
Yeah, peace. I love peace.
Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope that you're doing well. I'm doing great. Thank you so very much. This is another episode of the Culture Crime Fighters. Here I am fighting culture crime with my partner in culture crime fighting, Mr.
Vigilante Williamson, on the 22nd episode of the Culture Crime Fighters.
Hail. How's it going, my friend?
Good. Isn't girl says you sound like you're a broom closet? I can hear you pretty good.
I sound like I'm in a broom closet? Shit. I was thinking that about you.
Oh.
All right, let me see. Let me tweak. I was tweaking.
Do we both sound shitty? Because that's always a possibility.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, Islington Girl. I love you so very much. I don't want to sound shitty.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you, though. I hear you, but there's something a little different. A little muffled. Yeah, maybe. But it's not like to the point where you're inaudible or ununderstandable. It's not like you're like unintelligible.
Does this sound any better?
Kind of sounds the same.
Kind of sounds the same. All right.
Oh,
yeah. There we go. Oh,
what? It's better. We sound
yes. You're good now.
Human, like a professional broadcaster.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if professional is the word I use for either of us, but
fair
yeah,
enough.
you sound a lot better.
Yay! Technical
semi-pro.
issues.
We're semi-pro.
Semi-pro. I'll take that.
We're getting there.
My little pillow's upside down. Oopsie. Gotta make the branding sharp, you know.
There you go.
Well, hello, Vigilante Williamson. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm solid. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm still fucking flu. Still fucking kind of sick. I had to work yesterday, and it I don't know. I don't know if that may stick around, but I just kind of it's like feeling still so congested. Not sick, but just like ugh, you know.
Yeah.
Meh. Not a fan. Not a fan of being sick.
Hope you feel better, man. Hope you feel better. Need that.
Thanks, brother. You know what got me really excited was I didn't officially book my trip yet, but I did like book out the time at work to not go to work for the Vegas trip. For
Congratulations.
Vegas. Yes.
Cool.
I'm fucking excited. You're not gonna go, are you?
Nah, I'm not gonna be able to make it.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah. Next time though, I do want to. I have to go. Actually, I'll probably be in Houston. Well, not that week, but a few weeks before then. It's like a family get together that everyone's trying to go to Houston, so I gotta do that, and I can't do both.
You're gonna be closer to me than you are now.
Yeah, I will.
Houston. I'm seeing a girl who's from Houston. She's a little crazy, but
kind of seeing.
Yeah,
everybody's kind of seeing somebody. Right.
I tell you what, you were fucking running through my brain.
Oh no, I don't want to fuck up anyone else's life.
No, it's just the wisdom. I'm like, oh, maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Islington girl wants to know if it's the man flu.
I cannot confirm nor deny that Matt has toxic man flu, literally.
Yeah, I think I have toxic man flu. I think that's the issue.
There you go.
What am I gonna do? Well, hello, the Islington girl, by the way. Hail.
Yeah. Hey, Chaz. The Islington girl. Just another red shirt. Who's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt.
Red shirt. Did you guys like the old school wake down double intro we did today?
Yeah. We hadn't did it in a while. I was it blew my mind.
Kind of sprung that on everybody.
Yeah.
Watch out. I got angles. Red shirt's here. Wake down's here. That's it. Ironcaster. Hello, Ironcaster. Hail.
I noticed at first, so I've been getting back into streaming because I was working on a review, which I have recorded, and I have to edit. Editing sucks.
It does.
But so I got back in the stream the past few days, and it feels like the first 10 or 15 minutes, they just say, fuck your notifications, and no one shows up. But then eventually people show up. So I'm going to go to the evil Twitter machine and let everyone know we're streaming. Hopefully
I don't know. Yeah, I can't really put it all together. I try to figure things out, but I clearly don't know what I'm doing. However, my numbers are up. I'm at 1,172 subs. So
there you go. Getting to 1,200.
Yes, we're getting to 1,200. So it's an improvement on what it was. The David Harbour video is doing okay. 170 views. Yeah, it's not like terrible, but it's like, all right, fine. It's moving.
Better than me. My video on it.
However, I saw that the Cameron Pasha Culture Crime Fighters from last week, over 300 views.
Yeah, it keeps growing. That has grown like 100 plus views, like almost 150 views since. I'm not sure if the clips, I posted a ton of clips and I actually got one more I wanted to post this week. And I'm not sure if that's kind of brought traffic to it or if it's just Cameron. He's been on a lot of shows. Because after us, he did Pauly's.
It's like he did a press tour.
Yeah, he really did. And we were a part of it. We were the first leg of his press tour.
We kicked it off, yeah.
Yeah, I feel honored. And so he's been on such a press tour, people are probably just seeing him other places and typing, where can I get more of this shit? Because he's great.
He's
amazing. He needs to do a podcast.
Seriously, although he'll probably get shot.
Oh, man.
Because he just doesn't hold anything back. It's unreal. I've never heard anyone from Hollywood be that honest about any of that stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
Never.
Just the lack of fuck he is, and he's still confident and probably will get other. He talks about he has work. He talks this shit, and he has work, and it's like I get that it's probably a harder path to walk, especially in Hollywood.
Yeah,
but you wish more people would just do it and say, you know what, I can still do this and have an opinion of my own, and think and research things, and think for myself, like. If Cameron can do it, anyone else can too.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because he's doing it like on this weird little corner of YouTube that like the mainstream press has no idea about. Like, I wonder if that has something to do with it. I wonder if you know what I mean. Like, I wonder if the fact that like we're just kind of obscure. Like, even like Nerdrotic, like even Gary is obscure to the mainstream.
Relative to the mainstream.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Like,
hell, UK 180. I like synthesizers too. I'm surrounded by them in this room. I've shown them off before. I just saw that.
That's right. Quite the musician yourself.
Yeah, not that good. But yeah, you're right, I guess.
Yeah, well, because I was thinking about it because it turns out, you know, Angry Joe.
Yeah.
It turns out he goes to the bar that I work at. And
holy shit.
hey, Keely Chow. Hail. Yeah, and the bar manager is really this dude Holiday, cool guy. He knows Joe, and I guess they're gonna go to a brewery or something like that. And I think I might get an invite. Might get to go.
Holy shit, Angry Joe,
right? And I was like, that's fucking cool. I'd really like to pick his brain. I'd really like to talk YouTube with him. But it's like, dude,
last thing he wants to talk about.
Well, whatever. I'll talk about whatever
see.
the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like it's just, I just like to. It's interesting. He has 3.3 million subs.
He's been at it for a while.
That's
like,
crazy.
There's only a few YouTubers that I've went like pillar to post with, and like him and Angry Video Game there are the only YouTubers I can say that if they have a video and I see it, I'll check it out. That I used to watch in 2015 or 2014, because a lot of those guys and gals I just don't fuck with on the same level, or they're not around.
I just never took it seriously. Like I even like Mr. H reviews, like he did a review on like Avatar years ago, and it was I really liked Avatar when I saw it, and his criticisms were so accurate that I was like, fuck this guy, I'm not even listening. I was like one of those people. I was like a hater.
Yeah.
Shut up, whatever. And but like I didn't take YouTube seriously as like an outlet, you know, like I kind of looked at it like, well, if you have something like to say, you'd be on a mainstream platform. Like why would you have to resort to YouTube? If you have to resort to YouTube, you're probably a fucking loser. Like you're probably, you know, not like a interesting voice, you know what I mean? But like
you're one of those types.
100%, dude, 100%. Like just didn't think of it as any kind of like a legitimate outlet until I had to, until like, you know, like the Game of Thrones collapse and the Star Wars stuff. And it was just like literally no one is saying what I'm seeing, and it's driving me fucking crazy. I feel like an insane person. And that's when I found YouTubers, and I was like, oh no, this is not the place of like, you know, wannabes and wash ups. This is the place where you can actually say what you really think and believe with no tethers. Like you're allowed to just do it. And so long as it's like, you know, quote YouTube friendly, you can say it. And like to me, like that's when I was like, oh, this is the truth. It's not the land of misfit toys. This is the fucking frontier.
So, you know, I never even considered either way. Like I still probably don't. Like, I just because I've been so out with mainstream since like I never paid attention to mainstream media. Like I'm somebody for whom South Park and The Daily Show got too political for me in 2007. So I said, fuck all this. Yeah.
2007.
Yeah. I was just like, eh. And then what happened to me, and not say I just hardcore never saw nothing, but by 2013, I can't remember, at one point where I got my cable cut off and just said, fuck it. And then found out, oh, I don't need cable. I could just use Netflix and DVDs.
Yeah.
So from that point on, I said, fuck the mainstream. So I never really care. And yeah, South Africa, I really feel for all the people there. I see my man smoking bongs for South Africa. I like you, UK 180. You're talking about smoke and synthesizers, two of my favorite things on earth.
There you go.
We're fast friends. But yeah, I never really. I've been so disillusioned for so long. I really feel like welcome to the party, pal. A lot. Oh, mainstream media, they're lying to you. Yes, they are. And they have been your entire existence on this planet. It's just it's obvious.
I guess I always thought, I don't know if it was a Trump administration. I think it was a Trump administration. And it was like, I always thought that like, yeah, they're liars. Yeah, they're bullshit. But they're doing it like with some modicum of integrity. Like, even though it's like, yeah, it's left-wing bullshit, it's right-wing bullshit. Like it's I still thought there was some kind of like framing where it was like some sort of, you know, like I said, integrity. But then after the Trump thing, you're like, oh no.
It's all bullshit.
It's literally all bullshit. And so you just, I tune it all out. Like it's like, it's funny. It has like the opposite of credibility now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what's different. And there are now like tens of millions of people who feel that same way. And that's never been the case. There's tens of millions of people who say, nah, fuck mainstream media.
Say whatever you will about Trump, but that is his legacy.
Exposing the bullshit of mainstream media.
100% changed everyone's perception about media.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you can't, it's pre-Trump and post-Trump. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like him.
They still won't let him go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying for me, like that's proof that he's got something dangerous to say. Like the establishment thinks it's dangerous. It's like, well, then we should probably listen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fucking, rock solid, but if they're like clamoring to silence him, it's like, well, I don't agree with most of their values. So then I probably would like to hear what this has got to say. This guy's got to say.
Holy
Eric
shit.
Ironcast.
Hell, Eric K.
Hell.
I didn't see old man was talking about fact checking text messages.
I don't know.
What? That's
Grandpa Biden.
I mean, we are in a socialist state, a socialist globalist state.
We are. Yeah.
And
I think that's
we're in China. Welcome to China, man.
Yeah. I think that was the whole goal. It's like I was reading this article from Batting into Comics the other day, and I guess it was Matt Damon.
Yeah.
He was reading for he was researching this role for like a roughneck, like one of these oil workers, and he's like, woo ha, so enlightened. Oh, they're not all retards in the middle of the country just because they don't think exactly like me. Who knew? Can you believe it? But I still give him credit for saying it. However, it was the. Let's see if I can find it because it was really interesting. Like what?
Yeah, actually, I think I talked a little bit about it in the same vein.
Did you
on one of the live streams I did, and real quick because my keyboard just shat the bed like after I tweeted. I don't. So, I mean, I could probably try see if more batteries do it, but I don't want to interrupt the flow. I wanted to say it's to my man UK180 who just became my friend. I guess his mom is in Durban.
Yes,
prayers
I saw that.
Yeah, prayers for her. F's in the chat if you want to put that.
Yeah.
That's a scary situation. We will get into it in a little bit.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, it was just it was interesting to like have him kind of like I don't know. Like I forgot exactly what my point was going to be there, but like it was interesting. So go ahead.
Well, I mean, his whole thing was like, oh, like you just said, like, oh, you're telling me that people would fly over country are people? What?
Wow. With thoughts and ideas that are not my own, but they have validity. What a concept. Yeah. But it's like kind of like that whole thing. It's like I don't know. I don't want to get too political, but it's just like the whole thing with like Biden is just kind of like everyone's just like, oh, cozy Grandpa Joe. Like we're just lulled into this, like, really? Oh, this guy, he's so sweet.
Jesus, anyone believes? I didn't know. So I don't know what the mainstream narrative is. Again, I've been out of it. Well, people cry when this motherfucker got licked. I already know the answer to my question. Are there motherfuckers that literally like, oh, he's so sweet, while gas prices and the price of everything just flies through the roof, while the stagflation hits before it hits, while it just
that was the thing. That was the thing that I was thinking. Like Damon said in this interview or whatever, he loved Biden. I'm like, you loved him? What do you mean you love? Like, what? Like, what do you mean you loved him? Like, I can understand you're like anyone but Trump. I almost respect that more than saying you loved Biden. It's like, what's there to love? The guy is like any day now gonna have a fucking stroke. Like, it's
that's
like
he's part of the point.
He's got dementia. Like Kamala Harris is like the probably maybe the most charmless politician next to like Hillary Clinton. Like just one of the least charming, least likable people I've ever seen in a position of power. And you love them. You love them. Matt, could you tell me what you love about them, please? I'd love to just list off some of the lovable qualities they have, please.
Well, I mean, he's he's made a more peaceful relationship by China because we're just bent over, so we no more of an issue. So it's more peaceful.
It's literally the only argument is that we want to return to normalcy. We want like less, turmoil and craziness. And it's like, yeah, the only reason we were like that is because the fucking media lost their minds. And every day was a circus. It's like, yeah, I'd like to return to normal too. But I'd also like you guys to like shut the fuck up and stop filling everyone's heads with mania.
To paraphrase my man Joker from The Dark Knight, you've changed things forever. There's no going back to the way things were. There is no normal. Bingo. There is no the thing is they are very comfortable with gaslighting half of the country.
That's how they do it. That's their whole thing is just gaslighting. It's all an act.
And it's, I had to quote another one. He's sick. I kept using the thing as the end of a lot of videos. These civilized people will eat each other. And that's the only way around it. Is they will continue to eat as they gaslight and create their own little bubble, the little safe space for snowflakes. Eventually, it's just them, and they'll eat each other. And so, let them. Yep. And I mean, you talked about the love Biden. What was it that I was? David Harbour, Red Guardian. Yeah, bad dad trope. Period.
We can talk about him. Let's talk about him.
But both of them. My real question is: do you really feel that way, or you have to feel that way? Are you supposed to feel that way?
Look at Islington Girl. She just calculated in gallons because they do liters, I guess, in Canada. Oh, yeah. And saw the gas price today in Canada was $5.32 a gallon.
Lord, I'm thinking this $3 I'm paying is nuts.
Wow, Eric Case's gas prices in many places in California are already $5. Wow, that's literally double what it is here in Texas.
It was okay. Last year here in the Carolinas, it was like 170 something. Sometimes.
Wow. I didn't see it. That's awesome. Of
course, it's 313 in Michigan. That's a Detroit reference.
313. Oh, that's funny.
A free world. Obviously, the coof is killing him. This is why you should.
This is why you should get the
wear
jab.
Wear 3 masks, you
fascist.
Fascist.
Dude, I swear to God, though, I did actually start to get scared. Like I did get like that coof fear, like it hit me. And I was like, oh no, what if I actually have it? Like I got all worried because I've been so cocky. Like, oh yeah, I haven't worn a mask in like a month and a half. Like, I don't give a fuck, And then like this girl that I work with, I guess like her boyfriend has the coof or whatever. And then she's out now, and I was like, "Oh no, what if I have it? Like, what if I?" And I got all scared. I got all worked up about it, and I was, like it like that little that fear from back, from 2020 hit me again. I was like, "Oh, still there."
I remember that first week when I have not looked back. I still don't wear. There's no way they can put. I can't say that. I don't plan on putting on a mask again.
You don't have to wear it at work. You don't have to.
Nope, no one cares.
That's awesome.
I think I'm in a pretty. I think they're really neocons. Like they're just like, Fox News, but like still that's better than nothing. Even though I'm not a big fan of Fox News. Pisses me off sometimes. They'll act like fucking Republicans are like indie rappers and shit. Like the conservatives are rich. Why do you guys complain like you're fucking? Like mainstream media, bitch, you're Fox News. You are mainstream media. What are you complaining about? Like how you have the ability to counter whatever narrative any other media organization does. Millions of people use you. Why are you acting as if you're? I know it's a tangent, but it's just
I do have a pushback on that, to be honest. Agency Girl though says, Matt, if it's a wet cough, you don't have it. If it's a dry cough, maybe it's not. I did get tested because I had to go back to work. Like my boss asked me to get a coof test, and I have the flu. The flu. Who gets the fucking flu anymore? I had the flu.
Lots of people.
Yeah, I guess so. I was surprised. I felt very passe. Like the flu. Ew. Like how out of date. But thank you. No, I will push back on that though, because I did think that like the conservative narrative was pretty annoying for a long time. Like the pacification of America. I was always like, oh, shut the fuck up. But they're right. Like that is.
Oh no. I agree with a lot of that's like a lot of the points they say. You know, I've even come around that, but I guess the way they'll act, Fox News in particular. Go ahead.
I don't even know what the narrative on Fox News is, but I do. But like the concept that literally it's all of the media except for Fox News that's liberal and like left leaning. There's a point to be made there. There's a reason for conversation in that regard. It's like, yeah, like that's the truth. And it's like if you're like a political like fighter, it's got to feel like it's us versus them. It has to. Yeah,
and I guess because as much as I'm sure the stuff I say leans modern right, I'm not. As my partner's poisoned by a toxic man flu, but no, like as much as my stuff probably leans modern right, I don't consider the Republicans and the conservatives to be us. If I agree with something one of them says, cool, and if they do something, that's the biggest thing. Actually do something, because I consider like Fox News to be controlled ops, like controlled opposition.
100%.
You guys, because you don't.
By the way, I don't know if anyone forgot all this, but they fucking hated Trump before he got elected.
Sure did.
Hated him. All the Republicans did. No one wanted that guy. He's just too contrary to the system. He's too much of an outsider. He's too much of an anomaly. Everyone on Fox News hated him. Every Republican hated him. Then once he got elected, they're suddenly like, oh, actually, this guy's got some good ideas. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Because they're clout chasing, and they saw the clout he got. And because that's another thing. I have a lot of critiques. I was just thinking about this, independent of the show, just of like, this is why I would never consider myself a conservative. I'm sick of the modern left. I think they're the bigger threat, but the conservatives are not providing anything. And they're really there's a lot of motherfuckers on Fox News who want to be us. As crazy as that shit sounds. Not probably more
what do you mean?
But they want to be YouTubers. They want to be or TikTokers or whatever. They're 50, 60-year-old men who want to be influencers.
That's funny.
And and at the same time, they don't really want. They almost, in the same way that CNN is missing Trump, they kind of want the left so they can yell at them. They don't really want things to change, and that's my own perception. Just anytime I'm exposed to some of it, and anytime again, you're right to say, hey. They are, maybe Newsmax, Blaze, but a lot of those other, as far as big platforms or big media organizations, it's really just Fox News. Everything else, like Daily Wire, Blaze TV, Newsmax, and things like that, they're huge, huge relative to normalcy, but compared to CNN, no, but it's also like, man, you guys just act like I remember 2005 when you were the biggest news organization on earth. You know what I mean? So like, stop acting as if you've never had any ability to influence anything, and those damn libs are just controlling everything. And it's what are we gonna do? You watch more Fox News to find out.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's a great point, dude. Like, that's kind of my issue with the conservatives in general. So anyone really who's partisan, I don't. It's my issue with them is that eventually, like. It's not that they have an issue with someone telling people how to do things or how to live. It's that it's not them. Like, they're not the ones who get to tell people how to do things. It's like, if you had the fucking influence, you'd be as authoritarian as the left that you claim to hate. Like,
absolutely,
your principles are bullshit. Like, you just think you're right. And it's like, yeah, so do they, motherfucker. It's like all my uncles, like growing up, who are like these, like just racist, like hateful people. They would like
that explains a lot. Go ahead.
That does it bleed out. But they would like hate on. They would talk about like the Muslims in the Middle East, like with this like hateful, like the way they would talk about them. But yet they were fanatical for their religion. I'm like, hey, asshole, they think they're right.
Yes.
Like, just like you stupid fuck. Like, it's not like they thought about it and they're like, Christians are wrong. Like, it's not like they have like your point of view and their point of view and then picked theirs. It's like they have their point of view and you have your point of view. And that's like, this is the issue. Like, the idea that you're as fanatical and you're as like aggressive to their ideology to the point where you want to bomb them. It's like, that's exactly what they think, you stupid fuck.
Yes, that's the exact thing they think.
Yeah.
It's like they think the same thing about their God. It's not my God. It's like, oh, go fuck yourself. Like that's why I hate the conservatives too. Like you just like shut up. Like you're missing the Reagan era. You're missing being in power. That's all this is.
Yeah.
You didn't learn, you didn't develop, you didn't grow, you didn't like expand on your lack, like on the fact that authoritarianism is bad no matter who it's coming from, on that, the autonomy, like telling people how to think and live and do all that is bad no matter what. It's like, no, you just want to be conservatives in charge. It's like, then go fuck off. Then I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, because you don't solve the problem. You just create a different colored version of it. A different
literally
version of it.
Exactly what it is. It's vanilla or chocolate. It's the same bullshit.
Yeah.
The Islington girl sent me a $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much, the Islington girl. She says, here's some money for orange juice, Matt. Thank you, dear.
Yeah, can you even get it, man? The way inflation is, can you get a cup of orange juice nowadays for $5? You should be able to, right? It's fine.
I mean, you could probably buy like Tropicana for like $5.
Like the little small ones.
Yeah, I try to get fresh squeeze, cold pressed if I can.
There you go.
Get the fancy juice.
That Hollywood shit.
That Hollywood shit. That's right. Get some fucking cleanse shit, dude. The fucking. Did you hear about Gwyneth Paltrow's? I think it's Gwyneth Paltrow. It might not be Gwyneth Paltrow, but it's one of these
wacky shit.
Oh, she's wacky, man. I've met her a few times. She's super cool, but like every time I ever hear about her, I'm like, oh God. But I don't know if it's Gwyneth Paltrow. It's someone. It's people in Hollywood, and they have this facial like thing that they do, and I guess they put like little needles in their skin. You hear about this?
I have seen. I think isn't Kim Kardashian the one who came? Well, I don't know, came up. But he was like the first one. I just remember the pictures of her with like her face bleeding and a needle. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but also the really fucking weird part is that they don't just put like a bunch of needles in their skin. What they needle into their skin, and I'm pretty sure this is correct, as insane as it sounds, is it's the severed foreskin of Korean babies.
I did hear about this shit.
Right?
I didn't know which nationality. I had heard it was Africans. But maybe it's Koreans. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's like
it's like both. The black market.
Which foreskin do you want? Yes, a black market. Like, where do you get these? How do you source this?
How does anyone come up with this? Not even do you source it. Let's assume you can get anything you want. Whose idea was that? Who's like, you know what might rejuvenate your skin? Baby penises.
Bro.
What?
How is that?
Why does that? Whose mind does that cross?
How could that be legally? Yes, we need.
No.
Man,
it is jack of all casual. It is Hollywood. It's so weird.
There's a story we could go. I'm not done with this shit, but there's a relevant story we can piggyback into if you want to.
Sure, let's go for it. I don't know.
But But first, wait. I gotta slow down and get this shit. I don't
look. I'm all into giving girls facials. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great idea,
and I'm all for adult penises all over girls' face. I'm 100% for that. But like,
I think it's good for everybody.
It's good for everyone. Good for the environment.
Good for the environment.
Good for the environment.
Yes,
there's no, at least I don't know what, maybe there are greenhouse gases. But my point is this. I don't know. I don't know if you can make it far sometimes the greenhouse gases. Now, my point is this. Like, there's no way that's worth it, right? There's no way it can possibly, when you're talking about like from a moral logical standard, like when you could say, like, if let's say somebody told you, hey man, if there were like fucking like you could get, you would look better if we gave you this like.
That's how Islington girl stays young.
There you
she
go.
Takes facials. Good girl. Good girl.
There you go. Hey, the zinc. But no, seriously, like if like somebody said, okay, we're gonna give you like this substance that's made of like hymens, to make you look
Yeah,
younger.
like African girl hymens. You'd be like,
Or
what?
whatever. You would say, no, this is morally wrong. And even if it works, it's not going to add enough to undo how morally wrong it is to do this.
And just gross. Also, isn't that just gross?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it just gross? Like,
disgusting.
you're gonna little needles of penises in your face. Like, what? Like, that's disgusting. Like, it's gross.
Like
and then there's also like there's a trafficking of this. Like, there's someone has to procure them. Yeah, like someone has to procure them. There's a foreskin guy, right? And he has like a foreskin like cooler, and then like somehow like puts it on a plane and ships it to the Beverly Hills, and then they like go into a lab and they take out the enzymes or whatever the fuck they do. It's just like, what the fuck is going on?
And these are the people who tell us to check our privilege.
Right?
You guys have baby dicks in your head.
Facials. Yeah.
You
baby
guys would rub shit on your face if someone told you it would make you look younger. You've proven it by putting baby penises on your fucking face.
In your face. In your face. Yes, isn't it, girl? We have entered another dimension. 100%. I just wonder if we're like, we're sliding off into a whole other, other existence.
Casual says they're using newborn placentas too, just in case.
I find that less offensive.
Why?
Because it's waste. Like,
I guess, yeah.
Like, it's like whatever. That's garbage. Well, so if it's gonna like, it's just the idea that you would cut something off of someone and then put it in your face to make yourself look younger is very disturbing. Placenta, whatever. I mean,
a lot of babies are circumcised at birth, so that makes the foreskin just toss away.
I guess so.
I think they're both incredibly disgusting.
So weird.
And I can't imagine, like, I couldn't get past that. But then again, hell, there's like bat shit in makeup. So, I mean, and every girl on earth wears makeup. So there.
Islington girl sent me a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you so very much, my dear.
Yeah. It's a very concerned smiley with a sweat.
It's like a sweaty, like, what's going on here? Yeah, it's terrific. Yes. I don't know.
Your baby placenta. Like, I won't allow. You can't drink your piss, and I'm cool with it. This isn't fucking water world. Like, no, just stop.
It doesn't bother me. The placenta doesn't bother me as much. I don't know why. Like, because it's like it's just waste. So it's like, if you can make something out of it, terrific. It's just the idea of the foreskin. It's just so gross, so graphic. And it's like, you have to cut it off of a screaming infant and then you put it in some fucking Hollywood girl's face. What the
50-year-old post-wall bitch that's still going to look crazy and plastic faced afterwards anyway.
I have no tolerance for plastic face bitches. I am not even kind of into it.
When you start seeing those like overly large, like infected looking lips and those weird cheeks, it's like, nah, bitch.
They walk around like this all day long.
Yeah, they got permanent kissy face.
Permanent kissy face. Ugh.
Weird looking cheeks that look too perfect and weird.
It's weird. It's like
humans aren't designed that way, and you can just tell.
Yeah,
you know this. And yeah.
That's funny, isn't it, girl? Hey, if I carry that brat for 9 months and I want to put its placenta on my face, what are you going to say to me?
My argument is like, you wouldn't put your own piss or your own, that's a waste. It's just like, like, we're making Matt sick. And hail to Thundercats ho. Thundercats ho.
Thundercats is keeping me abreast of things that are going on. He's always sending me like little articles and shit like that on Twitter. So thank you. Hail, Thundercats.
Cool.
Oh.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
I mean, yeah, like you fucking shit out a kid. It's got to be.
That's fair.
Yeah,
it's still weird.
It's weird. It's weird, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not like offended. I'm not even offended by the baby penises thing. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just like so perplexed. Like, who pioneered that? Who was the first person who was like, hey, you know what? There's a bunch of wrinkly women in Hollywood who could really use these baby penises all over their face.
How do you do the research?
Yeah. How do you connect those dots?
No way it could have been done legally. There's no way.
I don't know. Look, it's like, what's that? What are those things that come from aborted fetuses? It's the
Stem cells.
Yeah. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe there's some sort of rejuvenative, I don't know if that's the word, but like rejuvenated.
Yeah, rejuvenated. Yeah.
You know, like properties of a baby's foreskin. I don't know. I don't know how you would have studied that, learned that, and then put that into, skin cream. But apparently someone did. I don't know. I have a lot of questions. And also, like, I'm unnerved at how people are like, yeah, I just get a baby penis facial. Like, it's not even a big deal. It's like, what? You're not even trying to hide that? Like, wouldn't you want to not tell people that that's what you're doing? I don't know. Like, yikes.
Like, yeah, how did you get into how did you get into a circle of people that you spoke with to where that becomes something you were comfortable sharing?
Yes. Not like even like a secret that you're just publicly letting people know that that's your facial.
Yeah.
And fucking weird.
Isn't girl says about the snorted thing is going to a dark place. Honestly, though, that's probably how this could have started innovated. Like, I can see how that's like maybe that was a source. Like, okay, we started stem cells. Well, this kid is already just me. So see how he got mad. They'll be coming for me next. It's okay. I love you all. I appreciate it. Vigilante Williamson and Matt from Foulball Productions did not antivirus themselves. If they get us, they're coming for you next. They're coming for you next. You're next on the list. All you guys, you're all in the algorithm.
Sorry.
You fought off their grip. Thank goodness.
I had that. It's honestly, I have this like kind of gaming type mouse. And there's like one button on it that if I click it on the side, it boots me out the room.
Okay.
I need to untether that button to doing that because it's happened before.
Yeah.
It's a risky button to have just at my thumb.
Especially because we do a lot of streams drunk and shit. It's like,
that does happen. All right. So I want to get into some stories. I do want to talk about South Africa and stuff. However, I watched, because I've been in bed for a week. I did watch a bunch of stuff. I did actually sit down and watch like a bunch of shows. My recommendation for just content, a show, and it's so not Foulball Productions, it's so not Culture Crime Fighters, but I just adore this show to fucking pieces. Is this show called Ginger Ninja Hale says I just pulled a Nerdrotic.
All right, 300K coming short.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost 400K coming short.
I know he's like 350, right?
Yeah, I think he's over there.
Hale Gary.
Maybe better around that.
Love that man.
Yeah,
really excited to
get him
in Vegas. Yes, Hale. No, but this show Atypical. Have you ever watched it?
I don't think I have. I don't even know if I've heard of it.
It's pretty fucking, for like a Netflix show that's like a family drama. It's honestly pretty based because like it starts off with it's about an autistic kid, right? He's like not like incredibly severely autistic, but pretty autistic. But it starts off, the first episode is he wants to get laid.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, you do. You know, you're like, right on. And it's like about this kid trying to get this girlfriend. Brightest Day says Atypical is good. See y'all in Vegas. I will see you in Vegas, Brightest Day.
Cool.
Fucking A, man.
Cool. Brightest Day.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good show. And it's like a family drama. And I really respect the writing of like the family drama because it's not the typical bullshit. Like one of the fundamental conflicts of the first season is that the mother has this like affair, has a fling with this like bartender from this like local bar. And it's about the dad dealing with it and trying to forgive her. Like it's not all women good. It's not all men bad. Like it's like just real life. It's like, it's good. Like it's honestly a really good show. There is in season 3, I think season 3 or 4, a character, I won't spoil who, but a character suddenly becomes gay. Yeah.
But
And
I mean,
it's annoying because it's like this is so unnecessary, and it also sidelined a great character that this person was dating, and it's like, man, I love that character. Why'd you have to do that? But honestly, other than that, it's a terrific show.
well, without having seen it, you know that suddenly becomes gay is a thing too. You know what I mean? That is real life too.
I mean, it's real. It just felt to me, it felt like, oh, we don't have representation. We have to find it.
It probably was, but I mean, a lot of girls are all of a sudden lesbians in college and all of a sudden straight when they graduate. So like,
That's what, honestly, my roommate, who is no
It's a
longer my
real
roommate,
thing. Yeah.
the girl I used to live with in LA, she's like, I didn't think that was weird because that's exactly what happened to me. And she's bi or whatever. So
yeah, that's a
like,
normal thing. They end up bi, but then married and never with the girl ever again.
Jack of
So
all
like
casuals. There's always one gay character in Netflix shows. And I literally think that's what it is, unfortunately, because, and it doesn't destroy the show. It just, in my opinion, just it feels like it slightly undermines its integrity because you're just like, oh, okay, we have to have the gay character. Okay. But other than that, man, it's one of my favorite shows ever. And it's not, it's not genre. It's not sci-fi. It's not fucking punk rock. It's just a really sweet show about nice people. And I fucking adore it. And the last season just came out and I binged it all in one day. Man. Such a good show. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know what? We should probably make that a thing, like something that we enjoyed throughout the week.
It's so rare.
Because like it worked that, you know what, that is culture crime fighting. In order to fight the cultural ills of the woke and the globalists, we have to remember there is still good material that is either currently being produced and maybe, like you said, not necessarily in our wheelhouse, or great material in the past. You mentioned pre-show, wanted to talk about The Wire, and that's a show I've been meaning to rewatch because it's a great show.
So that's an interesting show. I haven't watched it in a while because it's so heavy.
Very heavy.
But it's brilliant. Like, it's tremendous. But that's a show. Didn't get a single. It's widely considered the best written show of all time.
Yep, I already know where you're going. Go ahead.
Didn't get a single Emmy nomination until its 5th season, and only got 2 nominations and didn't win either one.
And the only reason he got the 5th season was a makeup call anyway, because the 5th is probably the worst.
Worst season. 100% the worst season. I hate the 5th season. I hate that fake serial killer thing. It fucking sucks. There's
an argument to not, it didn't go. I didn't see Game of Thrones, but just the response was so vehemently negative. I wouldn't say it's that bad, but
it's not that bad.
It was almost like, I remember Boardwalk Empire did the same thing the last couple seasons. Just like, ugh.
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire kind of sucked though. Kind of sucked. I don't know about that show, but anyway,
it had his issues. That show, one thing was a lot of style. Like, hey, the 20s are cool and violence and sex. It's like, okay,
all right,
you have a story, sir.
You have a story. I just don't know. I thought it was going to be like the Goodfellas of the 20s, of like, the 30s or whatever, like with and it was all bullshit. Like, it was all made up. None of that happened. I'm like, well, why'd you bother? Why are you wasting my time? Like, tell me the story that happened.
Well, the first season of Boardwalk Empire, to kind of go off the tangent, was because it wasn't Nucky Thompson, it's Nucky something else. It's like a real guy.
Yeah, he's a real guy. A lot of them are real people.
A lot of them are real people. And so there was like that first season was truer than any other season. Afterwards, they went into their own thing. And like, he didn't really know all those gangsters. Like, he may have encountered them once or twice.
So ridiculous. Al Capone just lives in.
But it was like every gangster that ever was relevant all had to interact with each other. Like, come on, bro.
So bad.
I know. Like, we all like
so many.
That's not how it works in real life.
So many murders, and not one ever got solved by the local police. I mean, it was like murder was like taking out the trash. It was like, really? I'm pretty sure people go to jail for that shit.
Actually, one murder did get solved. The fucking the mom, the hot mom.
Oh yeah,
Gretchen, which was
Mole.
brutal. Yeah, was it? No, Gretchen. Was that her?
That's her name.
It probably is. Yeah, the redhead.
Yeah.
And they got her. They caught her with the undercover. I forgot who she killed. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's hilarious, dude. I fucking Googled Gretchen Mole and there's a picture with her and DiCaprio.
How does he do that?
I don't know.
And I'm sure it was well before you knew who Gretchen Mol was.
Oh,
Probably she was
yeah.
younger.
He looks like he's 23, 24.
God damn it.
I mean, goddamn, dude.
He's a smooth motherfucker, man.
He is the king.
Yeah.
You just got to give him props. He's the fucking king.
Yeah. He's a smooth motherfucker. I'm not sure if he's gotten the baby penis facial. I cannot confirm nor deny.
I don't know.
But I mean, he doesn't really need it. When
He
you're a
doesn't need
dude,
it. You're DiCaprio.
even if you
300
age,
pounds, you're fine.
yeah. Even because I mean, Jack was he probably still is banging somebody hot. Hell, Mando Merc, the creator of this great logo, the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Mando. Merc.
Okay, so
All right, yeah, go ahead.
The Wire. No, I just wanted to try to stay on topic, but The Wire. Okay, so my thinking on The Wire is best written show of all time.
Okay,
arguably, at least in the conversation.
Yeah, I would say personally, I say yes.
Yeah. Hollywood hates it. No love for it. And here's my theory. Because the reason I bring this up is because I was just listening to, I think his name's Lance Reddick. He was like a lieutenant or something in The Wire. I think that's his name. Let me Google it real quick.
Okay.
But I was listening to an
sure.
interview on Jim and Sam.
Okay.
Lance Reddick. He's a tall, boxy looking motherfucker. He was one of the, I'll show you his picture. He was like I think he was a lieutenant from season 1. This fella. You know this guy?
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
So I was listening to an interview with him on the show and listening to him talk about The Wire. And my theory on The Wire is that it wasn't digestible enough for a Hollywood palate, meaning
I would agree
it was
with that.
too gray, too controversial, too like this is actually real life. There isn't like some white liberal savior. It's just this is life, and it's fucking difficult, and these problems are layered and complex. And I felt like it was too much for Hollywood. They couldn't possibly have praised something like that because it's almost like outside of where they like to intellectually go.
Yeah, it's outside of their storytelling wheelhouse. I mean, Hollywood, no matter what story, still tends to go with the like fairy tale plot line, or they subvert that fairy tale plot line, but they still use it as the basis.
Yes.
And this was really a documentary style show in a, you know what I mean? And just even the way they did the scenes. How many scenes last 5 minutes? Most of them are like 30 seconds. It's almost like TikTok. It was like Baltimore TikTok in 2000 or whatever it was.
Lol.
Where they just show a clip of one guy and one scene. You'll see Omar and his crew set up on the scheming. You'll see Stringer Bell. Maybe he's trying to do his collegiate thing. Maybe he's trying to do his little street thing. You'll see either Marlo if you're later or
Marlo.
Which he was so cold. He was like calculated. He was such a he was like an advance over Avon.
The demon.
Who was kind of like a classic street guy. And then Marlo was like this.
Marlo was like the next level.
Yeah, he was like this brutal tactician.
Yeah.
And so you have all this a while, but then you might see McNulty either fucking a girl or
McNulty, man.
Or getting drunk with Bunk. And you would just see their clips intermixed with each other, and that's how they told their story. So
and there was no like clear hero. Like objectively, you could look at like, okay, the cops are in the right mostly, but like even like the political structure of the cops was dark. Like they didn't want like was it season 2 or 3? Like where they didn't want those prostitutes to come up as murders.
Yeah,
because they would have to they'd have to deal with the paperwork and all the bullshit. Like they're not superheroes. They're they're bureaucrats. They just don't want to deal with the paperwork. And it was so unflinching. Like, and it also like it showed like the mayor, like that idealistic mayor, and he's gonna
Carcetti.
Yeah. And he's gonna clean up the streets and this, that, and the other. And then like he fucks around on his wife because he started to think he was the shit. And then because of that,
Now there's leverage over him, and you're like, that's how it happens. You watch it. You literally watch how corruption is born, and it's like it's tremendously insightful. And as much as like the 5th season sucks, there is something to be said for how like shitty the press is, and what the 5th season does to explore that angle. And it's like, I think that's exactly like, it's like antithetical to Hollywood. Like, not to say that Hollywood hasn't provided us with great stuff. Not to say that everyone in Hollywood's evil, but like the overall narrative, like the ship, like the flagship of Hollywood, like this show contradicts what they're trying to do because it's too nuanced. It really makes you explore the fabric of life. And I honestly believe
the fabric of morality.
And just existence, man. Just to fucking the way things really are. I honestly think that's contrary to their goals. And I think that's why
to tell a fantasy. And I mean, you know what the main character was, right?
No, you're fucking right, Vigilante. You're right, dude.
But the main character was the city of Baltimore. That's the main character of the show. Yeah. And that's what you have to understand. The city of Baltimore, and that's really being a Detroiter. And as much as I talk shit about, hey, Cleveland and New York, chill out, guys. Like, I've been there. Like, I get it. Everyone in Detroit, haha. But you're this. We're on the same plane. But like, I absolutely understand what it's like to be in a corrupt city, see the corruption, see the people. Like, we had Kwame Kilpatrick. That was the big thing from the 2000s. And see that, no matter what he did, there was still that following. They talked about the Chocolate City angle of the like evil, like, you know what I mean? And then we see that still is a big thing of the
so divisive. The most divisive play in politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just all crazy.
It's really interesting, man. It's just like we were talking about. I think we were talking about last week, when we were talking with Cameron, like how like once Malcolm X came back and was like, "Hey, we should all love each other. We're all people." That's when the problems start.
Yep.
That's when he gets got. It's like the same thing. It's like The Wire authentically explores these issues, like really objectively. Like, it doesn't have any kind of like, it's not carrying a fucking a burning pyre for poor black people. Like, it details the plight of black people, but it doesn't like, oh boy, these poor little children who can't make their own lives up. Like, it's just an accurate portrayal of that existence in that type of a city, and it's unflinching and it's brazen. And I just think like they don't fucking like that. Like, that's too much for them.
They don't like accuracy. They just they really love fantasy. They love
it.
They really love
narratives.
Control narratives.
Yes.
And they really, what they love above all. And then maybe we can get into the Trevor Noah thing.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because we haven't. It's an hour in. I'm like, we should probably talk about the main event subject. But like, what they love more than anything, and you can see that with the way celebrities have spurred out the past year. Hollywood and the mainstream really love being the tastemakers of your opinion and your belief system.
Shit. That's exactly what it is.
And whenever that's challenged, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle the fact that that's no longer the case, and that will never be the case.
Bothers them. That's what it's like. It's like it's the most frustrating thing to them that they don't control the narrative.
Yes.
Which
Z said you're in space with Bezos. I'm sorry, that made me laugh.
Well, Matt's in space with Bezos right now. Whatever, dude. Listen, man. I'm just trying to have a complex conversation, man. If you can't handle it, you can't handle my intellectuality. That's on you, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was
Richard
Branson was in space.
Yeah, he was.
Hell, Eric K.
Hail Eric K. Tipped me $13.37. Thank you very much. The great Eric K., who I very much hope to see in Las Vegas. He's
girl.
Wait, hold on. One joke at a time. Eric K. says, nice to see you on, Matt. Keep giving those girls facials.
There you go.
I promise, Eric K. Because of that, I will give as many girls as many facials as I can.
Hey,
all right.
That's one of the safest place. the stuff can go because I don't want you to get caught up in a family court because a girl grabbed the turkey baster and went that route. After you blow up off of this YouTube money,
I'd be flattered. I'd be like, you went that far out of your way. God damn it. I love you. All right. Let's get married, you crazy bitch.
There you go, man. Just do a prenup.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. This is a girl. I first read that he was in space with benzos.
Oh, geez.
Apparently, benzos are no joke. Apparently, that like really fucks people up.
Yeah.
That's like,
that.
Is that Adderall or Xanax? Is it benzo?
Man, I couldn't. I only fuck with this plant. That's it, man. Everything else is way too much for me. And liquor.
You don't do Molly?
Nah. It's never gonna. I'm never gonna be the Molly Percocet rapper if that's what you're looking for.
Xanax Valium.
That Xanny bar. You know what? I did try Xanax once, but I
don't like this. I don't like
this.
Xanax.
Is back in the rural days. Here's the thing with Xanax. I probably need that for just realsies.
Just like,
and so
anxiety.
it had no impact on me. But I remember one of the
just
guys
suddenly felt more productive. I'm gonna go to the jam, get my life together. I'm not high.
Yeah. But the one guy was we were with. He wasn't a pirate crew, but we kind of knew him. He was sniffing, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I've done that with Dan because all the kids I fucking grew up with, they're fucking dopes from the white trash town next to me, Caldwell. They would always do Xanny, and I was like, "All right, I guess I'll try it." And I hated it. I was like, I feel like I'm medicated
because it's a fucking medication.
Yeah, like I don't feel high. I just feel like I'm in a mental institution. They just fucking calm me down. Like I don't feel high at all. Fuck Xanax.
The one thing I will say, volume for like we would like smoke, and some people like have a volume. That shit was cool at first, but I can see how that's a slippery slope. I think
my mom got, I guess it was for some dental surgery or something like that. Yeah. She got a bunch of Xanax, like for a, whatever it was. And she like threw them out, and I was like 18, and I found them in the garbage. I was like, oh. And they were the little footballs. So what I ended up doing, which was actually pretty fun, and I don't necessarily recommend this, kids, but it was something that I did, and it was fun, was I'd crush them up and then sprinkle it on a blunt and then smoke that. That was a nice high. I didn't do that. Fucking yeah, that was a real nice blaze. Yeah, that was pretty solid.
I've never at least knowingly messed with it, even though a couple times I think somebody had some extra shit, but never knowingly messed with anything laced. I can't do it. And then the first time I smoked, I almost wanted to stop. We had the most bammer weed, dirt weed, whatever they say where you from. It was just shit weed. It was like brown. It was like complete dirt.
Yeah, like seeds and stems and all that bullshit.
Seeds, like true dirt. Like when they talk about dirt ass weed, so that's all my boys. I mean, you could, but the thing is, you could smoke like 5 blunts with no problem. Like even if you just started, because they were nothing. They were just smoking them like squares. And he got it for so cheap,
man.
So it was like,
no, we would go down to Patterson, Patterson was like a hood like town. Yeah. And we would drive down there, buy like a 1/4 ounce of swag, just fucking dirt. And then we would roll these blunts that would like pop and like, because they got seeds in them. Yeah. And we would just like hotbox my buddy's Jeep, like, bro. And I mean hotbox. And we would have like 4 blunts going at one time. I mean, when we would get out, like it looked like the car was on fire. Like the amount of smoke that would go up into it was insane. Bro, we did that one day at like 2 p.m. I had to work at 4. I was high until like 8. Like I got so blitzed, and I'm like, I showed to work. I'm like, I'm still high. I have to go to work. I worked at Carvel at the is an ice cream place. I had to go scoop ice cream, and it was just like, all right, I guess I'm doing this high. What are you gonna do? Oh my god,
man. See, one thing I hate is my tolerance is like so high. I'm so pissed at my tolerance.
Really?
I gotta sometimes just take breaks just because it's like get to that point where I still get gone, but it's like it's just not the same. That first bowl back
problem anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I lived in California, man. It was like the fucking weed is insane.
Jeez, like your tolerance can never reach that level.
No, like Jesus Christ, like how could one have a tolerance to this shit? Like it's so potent and powerful, and it's like tailored to your needs. It's like, oh, are you a little bit anxious, but also you want to be kind of productive? Try the fluffy rainbow dank.
I love the growers who really like are breaking this shit down to the science. Well, this is 60% sativa.
It's amazing.
Indica, and that gives you that nice balance between because the indica is a body and the sativa. I'm like, bro,
this is legit what it is. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a totally different game.
Yeah.
But like I barely smoke anyway, because it's just like if I'm not I get paranoid. It was what happens now. Mm-hmm. Like it all the fucking walls start caving in on me. And I cannot have fun. It's not fun. I'm just like, all my anxieties are amplified to 1,000. You know, it's like, you know, that thing you're afraid everybody thinks about you. It's real. Nobody likes you. Like that's how it feels. It's like, oh God.
Oh man,
they hate it. It's not.
See, that's how I feel without weed. It's just like every night I smoke. Because when I'm high, I'm like nothing matters. Like I don't give a fuck. Like that's where you get. That's probably Vigilante Wins is just a pothead version of me. It's just like because I'm like I don't give a shit. The fuck you gonna do? Kill me? I'm already high.
I'm already high.
What is that gonna do?
All right. What's today? Is today the 18th? No.
Can't be. We're at what day are we at? 14th?
14th. I'm trying to find the Trevor Noah article. So I saw.
Oh, I actually have it because I pulled it up.
Great.
It's from the 14th. It's from this morning. I could.
Yeah. Please
I'll
share.
do the old share.
Terrific. Let's do it. Disease says. Back Mayday, we smoked dirt and we were proud to have it. Oh yeah, man. No, we were very happy to have it.
Yeah, we were happy. Like I said, my man's had like a ton of dirt. A ton. He would get it. He got it so cheap. And so I would get it for cheap, free or cheap. And it was just like we just had it was nothing. We would just smoke. We were smoking them like old timers smoke squares. Like we were just like, and that bitch there and just smoke, put it out. Both had, like instead of passing blunts, we just both roll our whole blood and shit.
Yeah,
it was wild. It just sit there and have I don't know in our head distinguished conversation on blitz coverages and bitches and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean I remember like one day like we legit like got a bunch of 40s, smoked some swag weed, and then played basketball. It was like our hood day.
I would call it cultural appropriation, but I've never been a beer guy. 40 ounces of beer, just like you can do whatever you want, brother. I can't, man.
It's disgusting.
40 ounces of beer, no.
The lowest grade. It's always warm. It was 40s are gross, dude. Gross. Oh, I like this. Islington Girl says, can I just throw my hot take that Trevor Noah is one of the most obnoxious, tarred immigrants there is? Yeah, I got it. Oh, Disease says he's got to make like a Texas Democrat and get the hell out of here.
I see what you did
That's
there.
Funny. I get it. Yeah, later, brother. Thanks for hanging, man.
Peace out, Disease.
Later.
Appreciate you being here.
And to the Islington Girl sentiment, yeah, I fucking hate this guy. Like when I first was introduced to him, I was introduced to him on Opie and Anthony because Jim Norton, comedian, you know, my love, he had him on because I guess he was at the Cellar. They became friends, and he was really funny. I really thought Trevor Noah was funny and likable and had a really interesting story. But he has just gotten into this like woke, like he just says all the things you're supposed to say, no individual takes, just the fucking by the numbers. Typical left-wing media jackass framed it as humor.
Man, when I think about the Daily Show in general, I really think of that as one of the like integral pieces of media for the SJW. Because I feel like even if they currently hate Jon Stewart, I don't know what they feel about him because they changed him.
Who knows?
I feel like the spirit of what Jon Stewart really perfected is what they've been reaching for. We just were talking about drugs. They're chasing that Jon Stewart high.
Yep.
With not just Noah, with everything they do, with
everything.
The snarky tweets, the snarky. They just want to be just that smart, just that funny, just that witty, and still have their pulse on what the people want and think, and they can't do it. They never will ever. And I was, like I said, I was not. Jon Stewart got too much for me. Back
no, me too. And well before me. But when it got too much for me was when the financial crisis happened, and everything collapsed, and Jon Stewart's just on the Daily Show being like, how is this? Is this crazy? I Googled it. Jon Stewart's brother sits on the Wall Street Stock Exchange.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
He sits on this. He's not like a trader. Doesn't work for Bear Stearns or whatever. He was shill for the bank so hard. That was off-putting too, but I had already kind of fuck him, but I was still rocking. But I'm just like, it was such a shock to you? Really?
Jesus.
I feel like your brother might have saw this coming. Might have had some insight if he sits on the Wall Street Stock Exchange.
Yeah. There are probably very few people on earth who it was less a shock to.
Right?
Than you and your family, Mr. Stewart.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I got out. That's what I pulled out. But I will say this for Jon Stewart. At times he is funny. And especially under the Bush administration, he was needed. We do forget because we're so used to these woke liberal fucking
I have never forgotten about that I'm about to call him Orange Man.
Bush.
Fucking Bush and fucking.
But we do forget that the narrative really wasn't always run by woke SJW leftist lunatics. And that there was this very pervasive right-wing domineering of culture, of media, of politics that was, super powerful and did a lot of shitty things. And it's easy to forget that. But at the time in the mid 2000s when, Bush was, in his heyday and all that shit, he was needed. It was a necessary punk rock contrary voice. And he wasn't even, I really don't think he was so much of a leftist, to the point was I don't think every punchline was you agree with me, right? We all agree.
Yeah.
It was funny.
He didn't ask for as much clapter. I mean, he got it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't seeking clapter
as
much as these guys do. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier about Fox News. Listen, I remember where I couldn't go into a McDonald's without them playing Fox News. Let's not act just because the tables have turned that you're this for the people brand,
right.
This small brand for the people. Get out of here,
no,
assholes.
It's true. I mean, two wars, one, they're both still ongoing. One that was pretty much unfounded in every single way.
Mission accomplished.
That all happened.
Yeah.
And no real repercussions. Not even from the left. I mean, that's the thing. You fucking idiots, you fucking leftists. You think that goddamn Democrats are part of the resistance, you retards. But it's that's still ongoing, still happening right now. And it's no consequences, no repercussions for starting an illegal war.
No, none. None of those people did. No, nobody did. I mean, sheesh. And then they were so scared of fucking Orange Man. He actually stopped a lot of wars.
Yeah.
But real quick, I have to get to disease. Hopefully he's still here. He probably left.
I thought
he did have a Cold Stone Creamery joke, and I saw it, and I thought it was funny.
Oh.
We were going.
Where?
Don't
be off that grandma's boy. Oh, cold. Just this?
Yep. Yeah.
Cold Stone Creamery. I get it.
He wanted you to see it. We saw it.
Clever. And then Cookie Opus and Fudgy the Whale. We did do Cookie Puss and Fudgy the Whale at Carvel. Yes, we did. We used to make those cakes. There were some fucking sexy girls that worked there, man. God damn, I work with some fucking cuties at that place.
There you go.
I hooked up with one of them.
Hey.
after I broke up with my girlfriend. This was so weird. All right, so little tangent.
Yeah.
So I'm at work one day. I work at Carvel, 17. We have this giant glass window. You know, the whole front of the restaurant, of the place, is glass. And my girlfriend, like, parked in the parking lot, which I could clearly see through the glass window. And she's like 100 yards away. Gotta be.
Yeah.
She's walking towards the place. And I'm like, did my girlfriend's tits get bigger? Like, that was the first thought. I mean, I'm talking 100 yards away. I'm like, what? And she comes in. I'm like, babe, your tits, they're huge. What the hell? She's like, yeah. So this like drama proceeded to play out. So she told me what she was trying to convince me of was that she changed birth control and that made her tits grow. Now, she had an A or B cup. You know, she had a fat ass, but very slender tits, which is kind of sort of my MO. It's kind of the girl I end up with most of the time. I have no problem with that. I think that's great. She went from a B cup to a heavy C, probably a D cup, out of nowhere. I'm like, what? And so she proceeded to convince me, or tried to convince me, that this was all a natural process of her changing of the birth control.
Eyeball that,
bro. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I don't know everything about female biology. I don't know everything about fucking hormones and shit like that. But yo, there's no way you go from a fucking demure B to a heavy C like that because of fucking birth control. No fucking way.
Isn't it, girl? I think it can't. Listen, it's the texture that you can. I can eyeball a pair of boobs and tell if they're real. It's fairly easy because they have this unnatural way they sit more than size. I don't know. Maybe she was right this whole time.
That's so funny, isn't it, girl? Well, okay. I will say that so I guess because she was in high school. We were both in high school. Yeah. And so the rumor at her high school was that she got breast implants, which is a reasonable rumor considering your tits exploded. It seems very
okay. So other people know this isn't just you.
Yeah, dude. You can't. Like, how could you not notice?
So this was a thing. So they probably were fake.
Well, so she also she wouldn't let me see them for a while because she was still getting used to them, you know?
Okay.
And so eventually, you know, she did let me play with them, and they were amazing, by the way. They were great. And I didn't have any conclusion to the narrative. Like, I was my instincts, my intuition was like, you're full of shit. There's no way that's not how it works. But I didn't have any proof until maybe about 6 months after we broke up. She came over to my house and I was banging her in the basement at my dad's place. And I guess she was tanning. And because she was tanning, it really highlighted these little crescent moon scars on the underside of the nipple. Eric K says, Matt, you should have seen some scars. And indeed, I did, Eric K.
Yeah, Arthropera, that birth control is called silicone, my friend. They weren't real.
Yes, they were implants, fake tits, glorious fake tits. And by the way, I was 17. There's no way you could have told me, like, you got fake breasts and I would be upset about it. There's no circumstance in which I would have been like, how dare you? But it was the lying. Yeah. It was the sneaking.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the real thing. And I don't know if you knew this. Like, did her dad buy them?
I have no idea. I assume.
All right. May have been a dad. Maybe it wasn't her dad who bought them. Just saying.
No. She's too much of a dork to have like a sugar daddy.
Man, you see, I used to think, oh, she's too. No, I know these hoes now, man. I'm not. 17-year-old me was so naive.
Based on Williamson.
Women are always capable of something more than you think they are.
I
Every
agree with
single
that, but
time.
no,
So you think, oh, she's this cute nerd. I'm
mom-
not saying I wish you
her
the best.
mom is the reason why I don't think so. Because like her mom was like active in her life. Like if she suddenly got tits in high school, like her mom, like there's no way you don't slip that past your mom.
Maybe she didn't slip it past her.
No, I'm pretty sure her mom was in on it, but I don't think I don't think there was a.
Saying, man, she can say, "Well, he's a nice guy."
I mean,
You
it
broke
was
up with
20
Matt.
years ago, so even if it was the case, it'd be like, all right, like I don't
He has
care.
he has a nice car. You know what?
Yeah.
Women, when it comes to that money, I'm telling you, the mom would be like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, get some fake tits and fuck the richer guy." He went to the guy who smokes weed making cookie puss. Fuck him.
Vigilante Williamson hates women.
Who said that? I thought somebody said it in the chat.
No.
I love you hoes. No, I'm just.
I love bitches.
I love bitches and hoes. What the fuck? Who said I hate women?
I always love that line from How High with Red Man and Method Man. How'd I get an F in women's studies? I love bitches.
Yes.
Great line.
Oh man.
Islington Girl says, in my opinion, you should not be getting cosmetic surgery underage in high school. Not good. I kind of agree. I should firmly agree. Although I will say, because of her youthful body, the implants took really well. You know, because she was like young and could heal. They looked. I mean, they were fucking excellent. But I'm at the. I don't know. At my age now, like I hate fake tits. Like I don't fake anything. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
Speaking of fake, Trevor Noah.
Speaking of fake, Trevor Noah. All right. Do you want to read? You want to read the article, my friend?
Yeah, I could go ahead and read this.
All right.
The Daily Show was Trevor Noah to tackle racial injustice and sex robots, and Roy Wood Jr. hosted podcast Beyond the Scenes. And there's I guess it's the Daily Show staff. Don't they look lovely?
They look so diverse. They look so diverse. Look how diverse they look. Oh, there's a white guy all the way in the distance.
There's one white guy. A lot of black. Can somebody, and as a fat guy with a fucked up haircut, yeah. I'm seeing too much representation of my people. I'm tired of seeing fat black people, either male or female, with fucked up haircuts.
I told you my thing is I'm happy we're seeing more thick black women in media. Like I mean thick. I don't mean fat. I mean like, yeah. I like that suddenly like bitches with fat asses are in commercials. I'm like,
I'm a fan of that.
Love that.
I love that myself.
Think that's terrific. However, there is an overrepresentation of just fat bitches. They were just like, ugh, and they're just like, yeah, I'm beautiful. It's like, I mean, to who?
Like, her hair. Don't give her a fro and then cut parts of it and look at like.
She just looks so angry. She looks angry. Like her whole look to me is designed to be an angry black woman. Like that's what it looks like to me.
Don't you know there's some jovial fat black women too? Why don't y'all put them on? I like
lovely.
There's a jolly jovial
honey child, as Patrice O'Neill would put it. We call a little honey child.
You never put them on. You always put the angriest motherfucker you can find.
I know they're so lovely too. They're so sweet.
Yeah, especially down south here.
Yeah,
they know how to cook and shit.
Love it.
Shit.
Come on, like this girl went to college and just majored in hating white people. Like that was her whole.
The white girls whose butthole she used to eat. Because that's a big thing.
Probably that. I love your angle on that. So interesting.
I'm telling you, bro.
I love it. So interesting to me. No, but she just looks like she's got like a gender studies degree and like a critical race theory specialization. She just looks, she's going to take on the patriarchy with everything she does. And I'll keep it a buck. She's not the most, like, they style these women and you say, what the fuck? But if she, you did something different with her hair, you can keep it natural. I like the natural look, just not that specific one. Both of us, hey, I'm fat as fuck too, honey. We can go run and work it off. We'd be cool. But you got that angry energy. That's what it is. That's it. It's the angry energy. It's the looking for a fight kind of thing that you're just like, you're just immediately, you just stay out of her way. Yeah. But all right.
Comedy Central is expanding the Daily Show universe. I didn't know it was a universe.
Ooh.
With another podcast.
Ooh, another.
There we
I'm
go.
sure 10,000. Speaking of podcasts, by the way, if you guys love the Culture Crime Fighters, you can find us on iTunes and Spotify.
Yes,
we are up there, and we're actually surprisingly getting some kind of views. So if this YouTube thing is too much of a hassle, by all means, check us out on iTunes and Spotify.
Yeah, you can listen to it and not have to, have your phone off or whatever, or on whatever sleep mode.
Exactly.
So there you go.
You don't have to pay for premium to have it playing in the background.
Such a scam.
I know. Anywho.
Correspondent Roy Wood Jr. is hosting Behind the Scenes, an audio series that will give listeners an inside look at how producers and writers of the late night series use comedy to tackle a variety of complex topics, from racial injustice to sex.
Thank God someone's tackling racial injustice. We didn't have anyone on the case, but the Daily Show podcast is going to fix that issue for us, guys. Thank God. A topic that has got almost no exploration.
You know what, though? You're being sarcastic. I would make the argument it doesn't, because what they talk about isn't really, it's like this fake version of that.
Yeah.
So actual racial injustice, you can make, which we're not going to get. We're just going to get white people bad.
Yeah, it'll be the kind of thing like it'll be like, voting registration is racist. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, having a license to go vote is racist? It's like the most insane thing I've ever heard. Like, it's just so weird. Like, you just show up, say your name, and then that's good enough. It's like, in what universe is that okay? I just don't understand. Like, I really don't understand the argument against it. It's like, well, black people can't get a license. It's like, what are you saying?
Again, the more that black people are orcs, black people are you know what I mean? It's just like, okay,
yeah.
Clearly, you guys are you racially tolerant lefties don't like us. You don't like us. That's obvious.
They like you in your place.
Yeah, they like us as pets and shit, man.
Yes,
I'm not a pet.
For social clout, you're perfect.
Yes, we're purse puppies. I think.
That's what purse puppy. I love that. Who said that? That's brilliant.
I think it's your boy Zach.
Sounds like an Eric July. Okay.
I think your boy Zach. Maybe Eric July. I think he has.
It could be.
Time.
It just sounds like like it's
yeah.
One of those guys that just fucking sums it right up.
Yeah. So to go more, his Wood's fellow correspondents include Desi Ladie, Dulcie Sloan, Michael Costa, Ronnie Ching, and contributor Jordan Klepper will also be featured as they tackle an array of topics. Series produced in partner with iHeartMedia. Yeah, this is independently. It's just a couple of guys talking,
just having a conversation. They're just gonna hash it out, from all different angles. I'm sure.
Yeah. This is a completely normal podcast, which is why there's a deadline write-up and iHeartMedia sponsorship.
No agenda.
No. Oh boy,
dude, this is the thing. Can you scroll to the top? Like, just scroll to the Daily Show with Trevor Noah to tackle racial injustice. Blah 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 blah. Trevor Noah, very famously, is from South Africa.
Yes, he is.
Currently, South Africa is in fucking flames.
Literally, yes.
Literally. Like, apparently,
it's pretty bad over there.
I think it makes the BLM riots look like a mild disagreement. Like, I've seen footage of people in the streets, like a militia of just citizens with guns being like, we're protecting our shit. We have to protect our shit. Like,
there was one crazy scene where you could see all like these had to be thousands off in the distance, and there's just a few guys with guns. Most is black, but a couple white guys there, and they're just looking at each other like, I guess it's just us.
Yep.
Like they're about to be the 300 Spartans because they don't know what else to do.
That's literally what it's like. And it's there. Okay, here we go. Perfect. I just pulled this up because 9gag, because I love 9gag. 9gag is my meme site. So let me just share this screen right now.
Yeah.
This is South Africa right now. It's in turmoil. Yeah. Look at it. Look at this.
Man, I saw people. Shout out to the one guy who was looting. He grabbed the important stuff. He just had 2 cases of beer and just was running. 2 cases of beer. I was like, he needed. Goodness gracious.
But I mean, just like look at this fucking hellhole. Like, and what?
Coming for a theater near you.
Yeah, and fucking Mr. Goddamn, champion of South Africa, champion of racial justice and freedom of people's. Not a fucking word, not a peep about the fact that his whole country is in flames because I guess the previous president was arrested because he was as corrupt as they come. And so for some reason that inspired outrage. And now
I actually thought of it. What it is, they would frame it similar to what they framed the 6th of what it is. The beloved of one president and just non-acceptance of any criticism of him. I don't know enough about the details to even.
I don't either. I'll be fair. I'll be completely transparent. I don't know either.
I don't know enough about South African politics. I'm not sure if anybody in the chat. I know we have an international chat.
I feel like Trevor Noah could weigh in though.
He probably could. He probably could and probably should. Right? This would be. You would imagine this story is the story that he's one of the people at forefront to cover. Now, obviously, there's just some awkward timing of saying, hey, there's a new podcast they're doing, and it happens to be the day everything's set on fire. But there is something to be said that he is so critical of our country.
Loves criticizing.
A country that has paid him millions of dollars to be here and crack jokes on a television show. A television show that
the crack jokes is what talk shit about this country all day long. He's got nothing but negative things to say about this country.
He talks about how racist this country is while being on a platform that he didn't even build himself. Not actually White John Stewart's a Jewish guy.
And he's a fucking multi-millionaire. Has an American wife.
Yeah.
All these things this country's provided for him, and he's got nothing but shit to say about it.
And his country is having this issues, to put it lightly. I heard 80
on fire,
and that was earlier, so it's probably unfortunately more.
What did she say? What?
She said at least 70 people passed in the South African stuff that we were just showing. I heard the number at 80, and that was earlier.
Sure, that's sure about the preliminary numbers. Yeah, I mean, it's horrifying. Like I saw videos of like I told you, like a little militia with these guys with fucking rubber bullets, like moving up, like methodically to fight back all these looters. Like the entire country is just being torn to shreds. And look, I pulled up Trevor Noah's Twitter. Just to be fair to the guy, right? That's his platform.
Tell me, he has some tweets on it.
Well, clearly 4 hours ago, he says, San Francisco, we added a second show at the Chase Center. December 10th is totally sold out. Mind blown. You can get tickets for the December 11th show using the code Here We Go.
I'm going to give him some benefit of the doubt. Like, even though, whatever, that was probably also a pre-planned marketed tweet, but there has to be
the next one,
some tweet.
I guess he got an Emmy nomination, honored to be nominated for Outstanding Variety Talk Series. Weird that Hollywood would like this show.
That's from yesterday.
So the Emmys, that's yesterday. Congrats to The Daily Show being nominated. More Emmy nomination stuff. Wrap up Juneteenth. For us, June 19th. So no.
Wow.
Doesn't look like Trevor Noah's got anything to say about the fact that
I can't believe he would be that silent. That silence speaks volumes.
There's a tweet and reply. Let's be fair. Maybe there's something in the reply.
Somebody had to tweet this motherfucker something about this.
No, doesn't look like it.
Does he an Insta guy where he posted on his Insta or his TikTok? Like, I'm not trying to stalk the guy, and I'm not trying to be even on. I don't watch the show. I'm not even trying to be facetious or negative towards the guy.
Oh,
it's just
no, I would never do that.
Brother, if you're going to fucking talk all the shit about our country, at least give you like, man, I hope people are better. You don't even have to have a stance
Love
right
to
now.
South Africa.
Love
Something.
South Africa. We need healing.
South
Like
African strong or whatever. Not
something.
a fucking peep. While the country burns. And dude, this isn't even like South Africa's got a lot of fucking issues. Like apparently like the racial killings like against white people are like really a plague. Crazy. Like it's insane.
At some point, the government there start giving, and this is why equity is bad, folks.
Again,
I don't know that I know what we've been told in school about the history of South Africa. That Nelson Mandela, he was a good dude. He was in jail. As soon as he got out, his divorced his wife. Never mind that. But like he's but seriously, he was this humanitarian or what have you. I don't know enough about the politics to speak with any authority. And that's something I'm going to volunteer, Mr. Noah. I'm going to speak on your country, but I'm going to let you know what? I'm not an expert, so no judgment on anyone because I'm not going to judge all the individuals there. But what I do know is apparently they made a decision to start taking land from white people and giving it to black people based upon the race.
Based on literally nothing other than race.
And apparently the racial killings and that's in the recent history. I'm not sure how long ago that was.
I've been hearing about it, I think, for like 5 years.
Yeah, it's in the past 10 years. So yeah.
Sorry, Trevor. What was that about voting rights? What was that about? Like really, and you're gonna sit here in arrogant condescension about how racist this country is, while there's literally racially motivated killings going on in your home country. Your country is now currently in flames, like is riots everywhere to the point where average citizens need to militia to protect like their homes and their businesses. And you're like, hey guys, congratulations on our Emmy nomination. Really? Mr. Fucking social commentator? Not a peep about South Africa, huh? Oh, you're as transparent and phony as I imagined that you are.
Man.
Coward!
They're fake. They're very, very fake. It isn't
girl says very, very fake. And Eric K. Oh, sorry. Isn't it a girl?
Go ahead. Oh, yeah. I did see Eric K. add a super chat. We got a
he sure did. For $3.33. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
he says, poor Trevor Noah. He only lives in a $28 million mansion and is worth $100 million. I want to be oppressed like him.
Wow.
Does sound like he has it really bad.
Wow. He hasn't even been here that long to get $100 million. How long has he done Daily Show? Like 6 years? 7 years, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
You can
That's
make
a while.
$100 million. That's a while, but the Daily Show gives you $100 million money?
He does live shows too. He does live shows too. Like he's a stand-up comedian, touring stand-up comedian.
Man,
does big arenas, does stadiums.
Those arena shows will get you there. I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't know he's really big.
I didn't know he was worth that much either, but I guess it doesn't sound that outrageous. I'm like, oh, okay, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. So.
It's just that wouldn't like authentic humility eventually set in where you're like, yeah, I mean, this country's got its problems, but look what it did for me.
That's what Islington girl asked. She says, what kind of person is that who is an immigrant who shits all over what the new country gives him on a silver platter and doesn't have any love from where he's from? No soul.
No soul. Word, girl. I'm sure he has love for where he's from when it's convenient. I'm sure when they ended apartheid, he felt very proud.
Man.
Hey, Snorter-Poopus.
Hell, Snorter-Poopus. He's running late, but yeah, better late than never. I appreciate you being here, man.
Good to have you, my friend. It's just more, honestly, it's not even like we're not even uncovering anything, but it's just more Hollywood hypocrisy. It's more cherry picking when you're this political activist, silent when it's not conducive to your narrative and your point of view, taking your checks, and just giving the middle finger to everyone who isn't in your little liberal elite circle. It's the same. It's literally, there's just the constant same bullshit.
Yeah. And it's the it's the most hypocritical thing You can see it again, the lack of humanity.
Yeah.
And he probably, maybe his handlers told him, "Oh no, you shouldn't speak on it now." And he's like, "Oh, okay." But just as a human being, he's got to be in the top 5 most famous South Africans, right? He's got to be, if not number one. I can't think of
Neil Blomkamp and Deontford. That's all I can think of.
Yeah. So like, how can you have nothing to say when this is going on?
Nothing.
When you've made it, it's not like you're like somebody, which now there's no one. It used to be like athletes didn't have to say shit.
Right.
Change that paradigm. But like, this is your shtick. This is what you do.
This is what you do. This is your wheelhouse. Like, if anyone's got anything to say about South Africa, it should be fucking you, Mr. Politics.
Yeah, and Oscar Pistorius, Tink Tink.
Oscar Pistorius. Forgot about him. Yeah.
But that's what makes it even more glaring. It's like, so wait, you're literally telling me that you have all these things to say about my country and nothing to say about your own.
The country, it's just amazing to me that like how many people would like that you would move to another country and then just do nothing but talk shit about it. Like, I could never imagine, even if I had negative things to say about the country, I wouldn't say to the people who live there.
No.
Like, that's their country. That's their culture. That's their history. You're just going to fucking shit all over it because it's fucking cool to do. I would, I'd talk to my friends, my mom. I'd be like, yeah, this fucking Argentina sucks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's awful because of this. But I wouldn't go to the Argentinians and be like, hey, this fucking country's a shithole. Why don't you guys get your shit together? Like, fuck you. We live here. This is our country. How dare you?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron. Yes,
Charlize
good
Theron.
point. The
Okay.
Asian girl. Yes, good call. She's a famous.
Still, he's still in the top 5 most famous humans from that country currently
100%.
living, and world famous. I mean, and it's like, dude, to the tune of over 100 million, 30 million almost dollar mansion, platform with multiple podcasts, just to add some more money. Just add some pocket change for you.
Not a fucking peep. Nothing. Not even a platitude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You would think you would just say, man, I wish everybody there the best. And motherfucker, are you gonna cover it? I'm not sure today. I'm sure he does a show today, but you gotta cover it, and you gotta have something to say that more to educate your audience about the way that country is.
It's too complex though, because it doesn't suit their narrative. Because in this way it's playing out in my eyes is that the black people are not the victims in this tale, in this story. So therefore, they can't touch it because they have a narrative. Black people are oppressed. They can't. Black people can't take care of themselves. They need benevolent white liberals to save them, and this doesn't suit that narrative.
No. And I would say it's nuanced. I mean, I saw a lot of the people, the militia, they were kind of a mixed group.
Yeah.
It was just people who wanted their homes to be safe. What it is there's a lot of, one thing I do know is there's a lot of tribes. Like, there's still African tribes there. And so what it is the guy who was president, he represents whatever tribe it is. I want to say Zulu.
Oh, interesting.
And so people from that specific tribe are the ones wilding out.
I didn't know that.
Most. So that's what it is. So that's why, again, this goes back to something shout out to Chronicles of Judy always says, color is not a race. It's culture. Black is not a race, it's a color. And that culture is more indicative of anything, because it's not like 100%. People from that tribe are going to look at other black people and say, oh, you're black, we're cool. They're going to say, no, you're not from my tribe. There's an issue.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that. I like that. I like that nuance.
Well, hey let's, because this conversation kind of ties into the Wire conversation. If you remember, they were all street guys, but some street guys had issues with other street guys who weren't a part of the same crew. And that's you know what I mean, thing.
It was like North Baltimore, South Baltimore, like everyone had like different like allegiances. Yeah. Interesting.
So
there's
that element.
Well, I think we can safely claim though that Trevor Noah is a phony piece of shit.
Yes, yeah. And it's I want to say it's a sad situation. I wish I knew the nuance to really expound upon the guys. You guys probably know more about the situation than I do. It's very tragic. And unfortunately, I think it may be coming for a theater near you. If last year was a dress rehearsal for what I think this might be just the there may be a day where that's here and not just here, but that's just like what it is.
Yeah,
that's what they're leading to.
I don't know. All I know is what I see, and I just see like just these horrifying, like it just all the images that come out of South Africa is terrifying. Like it's just violence and looting and lawlessness. I've even seen like images of like the cops looting. Like it just seems like utter mayhem.
Because again, it's a tribe thing, so it's like they don't. At least again, I don't know. Please educate me, man. Please, anyone. Oh yeah, the president just got assassinated.
Oh no way, really?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, that happened within a week. I want to say.
Haitian president got assassinated.
Yep. Haitian president got assassinated.
Jesus,
the world is crazy, man. This is a crazy time to live. This is what I tell myself is, listen, back in the 30s and 40s and shit, there were people who were living through World War II, regular motherfuckers who's like dad or were the person themselves, went off to fucking war. Yeah. And that's just, and then when he was gone, the mom had to do all this extra shit to keep everything. That's just how it fucking
rations was. And shit like that.
Yeah. And that's just how it fucking was.
Just how it was.
And you had to get through it. People have gone through all sorts of shit. People went through the Crusades. People went through all sorts of shit throughout history.
It's a good point, man.
You're living at the point where, you get to tell your kids, which I don't. Hopefully, I don't have them because of the damn fight in the court. But you get to tell your kids and grandkids, "Hey, I remember where they were rioting every day, and where South Africa set itself on fire, and
the world was shut down for the coup.
World was shut down for just like people remember candy getting popped and all that stuff, and they were popping people every left and right. It's just that's the human condition. You know what I mean? This is what we do. This is unfortunately what we do. Is what we've done our entire history.
Yeah, we just never have had such access to media as that we have now.
Yep.
So that we can see what's going on all around the world immediately, and without bias, but like you can just see into each, every like country's culture and strife and turmoil right now. Like,
and actually, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I remember like when Azerbaijan, is that the country that was at war with Armenia or whatever, where they were just like bombing like the civilians. Jesus. Like I saw videos of the cluster bombs just landing in a neighborhood, which are like apparently are like against the Geneva Convention, or like one of those, it's like a war crime to even use those things, But it was like, I'm watching just a video of that just going off in a fucking neighborhood. It was like, holy shit. And I see, you see that as it happens.
Yeah. And the one thing you said, bias, I mean, that's the one thing. That's why I don't really want to comment. I don't know that I'm not getting a bias slant. I remember I went to Australia once. And when I went there and saw the news, I was like, whoa, the world is way different than the news. And the filter of the American media is like, whoa, because it was around the time there was like a thing in Bangladesh where this fucking factory caved in on people. And all this shit was happening everywhere else. Like some girl in India, they were on a bus and a bunch of guys were gang raping her. It was wild. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know the world was this crazy outside of the States. And you just realize there is tons of slant. And not the Latino slant that we love, just BS slant. Not Paulie. Shout out to Paulie.
Shouts to Paulie. And he's Midnight's Edge, Ed in Espanol.
Yeah, doing big things. Things.
All right. Well, we're approaching the end, so I wanted to let you know I watched some things. I wanted to get back into a positive.
Yeah.
Tip. I watched some things. So I watched the new Resident Evil animated show.
Yeah. You were talking about that off air. Yeah. What do you think of it?
It was fucking good.
Yeah, it looks pretty short altogether.
Only 4 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say that's its downfall, to be honest. I feel like it should have been like 7 episodes. Like they do some tremendous world building. They do a great job of establishing like what's going on in their universe. They hint at the villains, but they don't tell you who they are. The animation is beautiful, except for when people are talking, which is kind of uncomfortable. They didn't really nail that. It's not that great, but it's excellent. Like the first 3 episodes are excellent, really fun to watch, really violent. It's just, it felt rushed. It felt like that the 4th episode, which is the finale, it was like all of a sudden everyone's at their place and we just have to have this big finale sequence. And then it kind of felt like video gamey, which I know it's based on a video game. Yeah. But it was like, oh, let's fill this giant chamber with acid. And you're like, what? Like it just had this kind of vibe of like, okay, it's like this became a little silly. But honestly, for a while, excellent show. Really fun to watch.
I can't help but to wonder if budget decisions impacted that sort of thing. You talk about 4 episodes. Like, how many seasons don't at least give you 6 or 7?
I know. Well, it's all animated. It's all computer animation. I guess it's very expensive.
Yeah, it is. It's super expensive. It's just as expensive as hiring actors and if not more. Probably in some cases.
It looked great. I mean, it looked great. It was a Japanese director, so there was no wokeness, no bullshit. Things that were like a little silly, but it was an elevated world. Like the tone of the show was very elevated. So you didn't have like it made sense. It worked. I thought it was really good.
I might check it out. I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's worth seeing. I also watched The Tomorrow War.
Okay. What did you think about it? I've heard very mixed things. Still haven't seen that yet. But what is your opinion?
First act, fucking brilliant. Brilliant. Like, really compelling. And way smarter. Later, Shellback. Shellback's out.
Peace out, Shellback. I appreciate you showing up.
Later,
I saw some of the stuff in the chat, but I know we're going. But thank you, man. Thank you for being here.
Talk about some of this stuff, but hail, dude. Seriously, the way they set it up, like the way they built the world, like it made sense. It was compelling. It was swift. It like got right to the meat of the action. There was things about it that didn't make any. Like, I guess if you start to logically pick it apart, you're like, that doesn't. Why would that doesn't make any sense?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about with that. But then again, how big of a that's a potential flaw? But how big does that flaw show in the story?
Not much. Honestly, It was really fun, and like Chris Pratt is a very able lead. Like you really take the journey with him. He's fun to take the journey with. He's charming. I'll say this: it's like if there's one flaw I could point out about the movie, it's that they try to do the Marvel thing where they put too many jokes in. God. Like some of the actors they hired, I guess they clearly feel like improv actors, and that was like sort of the joke. And they just put like this humor in places where if it wasn't there, it would really ratchet up the tension. But the fact that they kind of threw it in there, you're like,
That's what's been killing me about the Marvel universe for years.
Yeah.
For years, even when it was quote unquote good, like Age of Ultron, I just thought, like, God, what are this? Like, I hated that movie. That was the beginning of my sort of distrust in Marvel, and it was just too many jokes. That's a thing with Hollywood, because they think that formula works, and it does, but it only works when you have a property that suits it.
Yes, and Anthroparian says Edge of Tomorrow was better, and he's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to fuck with like an alien invasion movie and you want to like watch some like Edge of Tomorrow is much, much better movie. It's more focused. Mm-hmm. Like it understands itself better. This movie, like the second act, I don't want to spoil it, but it's all focused on this one goal. And then there's like this crossover with these characters where you're like, okay, I mean, I guess that's interesting, but it puts so much weight on their goal in the second act, like what they're trying to accomplish. And then by the third act, it just started to unravel. It was almost like it hit its peak at like 40 minutes and then just kind of just slowly down for the rest of the movie. But the third act is kind of silly where you're like, that doesn't make sense. Like the whole world is invested in this war. Why would that be the route you'd have to take? It was just kind of silly. And then there's like this whole, like I said, everything the goal they were trying to accomplish in the second act doesn't really impact the rest of the story. You're like, well, then why did you make me watch that for like 40 minutes?
Jeez.
It's just kind of weak. But I'll tell you what though. First act, excellent.
Yeah,
really
looking
fun.
in the chat. First off, hail to our favorite Canadian Egyptian god, Lord Thoth.
Lord Thoth, hail.
And the king of all wrenches, not like the king of all media, the Howard Stern. Remember when he used to be based? Tomorrow War, you need to totally disconnect your brain and not think about the story. If you do, your brain will tear it apart. It is good fun if you do not think of the story. If the story makes no sense. So here's my issue with that type of movie. And there are tons of movies in that vein that I love. In order for you have to help me turn my brain off.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't help me, even if I try, I can't.
Well, the issue is that for me, it was a tonal shift. Like the first hour is action packed and it doesn't stop. Like, he gets drafted into this war or whatever. And then, but it like goes ahead of schedule. And then he's got to do this thing and like all, in the future. And it's really, it's very fucking fun. Like, it's silly. Like, like Eric K says, if you really think about it, it's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But it's like, it's an interesting conceit. It's a fun story. It's like Independence Day, where it's like, if you don't think about it too much, it's fun.
But Independence Day helps me. It helps me turn my brain off. It doesn't just sit there and say, "Oh, we're stupid." It just helps. It just goes along. There are fun characters. You know, everybody. Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith have a shit ton of charisma.
Yeah, that's true.
And they have different types of charisma, and then they meet in the movie. And you've been with both of these characters. They haven't been with each other. This is all sorts of cool little things that make it so I don't think about all the stuff that doesn't make sense about it.
And that's the thing. I think that's the biggest sin of the movie is that it changes tone so rapidly that you have no choice but to think about it. Like it begins like it's so high energy, and then there's like this middle like science sequence that changes tone, and then the ending is just silly. But it's all like it's like you put the bar up here. Like this was how exciting the beginning of the movie was, and then they never reach that level of excitement again. Like they hit the peak, and then they never come back to it. It's like I feel like your peak excitement should be at the end of the middle of the third act. It should be that's where you hit your crescendo. We're all just like, oh my god, and then that it shouldn't be. Oh yeah, that was fun an hour ago. That's when it was really good.
That's not good.
No,
that's not good.
Yeah. So it was honestly it was way better than I expected.
Okay.
It held my interest way more than I thought it would. So in that regard, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah. So I have a list of things. I have a list of things I need to watch or rewatch or whatever. Yeah. So I have Nobody that I need to watch, and Invincible, and things like that. I still haven't got around to.
Invincible's woke. The more I think about it, the more I think Invincible's woke.
Oh man.
The more distance between me and the show.
Damn it! I almost need to see because I keep seeing fucking breakdowns on these characters. Everybody hates. Is Amber the girl's name? Yeah. Everyone hates. Everyone hates this motherfucker.
Well, because they race swapped her unnecessarily, and then she's also like a social justice warrior. Like as she's written, like she likes Ta-Nehisi Coates, and it's about it's self-proclaimed into third wave feminism and shit like that. It's just like, ugh.
Man, I gotta say this as a black man. I'm not the black man who doesn't love black women. I love black women. I love all women. Maybe too much, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sort of sick, and that's why I gotta be. I'm trying to base myself out of sympathy. But I am getting sick of every black female character being unlikable.
Oh my god, me too.
I'm really getting tired of it. There are likable black women. I know you wouldn't know that from the media. There are lovable black women. Yes. And they always portray, it just shows the left really hates us. They really, really do hate us. They really look at us down. The left embraces stereotypes to such an insane extent.
Way more.
They made Snake Eyes Asian just because he did martial arts. Right. They are the most racist grandfather that you've ever met. Yet they're the ones telling you about racial injustice. And I want likable black women again. Yeah. When are we going to get... Back in the 90s, you had representation. all the damn time. You would turn on, you would watch either Family Matters or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and you would see all these cool characters. And you had Myra, Family Matters. You had fucking what was the youngest daughter? I used to like her, Hillary. Even Hillary's goofy ass, and she was such an airhead.
Hillary, yeah.
It was like a dumb. She was a black version of a dumb blonde, but she was great.
Yeah, it was funny.
And they had all these different characters, and they had nuance, and it was.
It wasn't even really. It was the thing. It wasn't about race. Like,
no.
It was a black family, but it wasn't about the fact that it was a black family. Like, that's the thing about everything now. It's like
it's about universal truths.
Yeah. Now they have to underline and highlight and circle. Hey, they're Asian. Asian stuff is happening in this Asian family. Here's their Asian experience. Like, all right. Can they just be people? Like, I thought the idea was to connect, not to create these giant rifts, so that we can't ever be on the same page. Because you haven't had their life experience. It's like, who is this helping?
Well, fake book happened, shitter happened, and it reprogrammed a lot of people's minds to be so clout oriented that to not have clout is like not having a basic resource. In the same way that normal, the internet. I remember dial up when I was younger, and we didn't even have internet or a computer for a while until like the early 2000s, which was later than everyone else. And so but now I would be crazy to not have it. Like, could you imagine going back to not having internet?
No.
It's become normal.
What? No.
It sounds insane, right?
That's insane.
And so too has clout become. And so the pursuit of clout is more important than even being true to my race, but being true to your race, because now you're just using it to exploit. You know what I mean? You're just using it to cash in. You're just using it to be somebody's beard.
I mean, that's a really interesting point, because I see a lot of like narcissism, like cultural narcissism. Like, just people are just, their brains are just, like, it's, like I work with some people where they just list off their qualities as if that's a conversation. Like,
that's weird.
Who cares? Like, that's not interesting to me. I don't care. Like, oh, I'm this. It's like, great, good for you being that. Who gives a shit? That's not. I can't engage with that. Like, you just listen. So I see like that cultural narcissism. But your angle, the clout chasing, that it has to be. You got to get points for it. You got to get likes. You got to upvotes. It's like, fuck. That is very insightful. I had never considered that. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, and it's become normalized. Like, they don't even realize they're doing it at this point. A lot of them. It's like it's natural to lead with your race because that's what you do. That's what you do in this circle, and that's how you get clout, and that's how you get this. There. And then you're a victim, and then that people will give you stuff, and it's just like a natural thing. I don't think a lot of these people are going to realize what they're doing until they're in their 50s and their 60s, and they'll look back like, oh shit. That wasn't smart at all. Yeah, no, it'll like the illusion will break, and I think it's like Carrie Smith talking about like wokeness, like when it doesn't work for her, like it doesn't work for them, like that's how they break out of it. Like, who's that guy who's on Rogan? Jamie Kilstein, I think his name is. And he was a woke guy, and then like he tried to date some girl, and they called him a sexual predator, literally, because he just tried to date a girl. And then like the whole woke thing, they came after him, right? So it's like once it collapsed for him was when he was able to see how bullshit it was. But it's like only until that point could they not, could they not see it? So it's like, I don't know. It depends on how long it takes for them to individually recognize it. But like, my thing is, it's kind of sad because it's like, you might not realize it until it's way too late. Yeah. And I think for a lot of them, and Eric, I do remember hanging with Mr. Cooper. There was a few other, those were like, I remember hanging with Mr. Cooper. Hanging Mr. Cooper, Sister, Smart Guy. It was all these other shows. All right. I bartended at an event where Cooper was there. Whatever. Oh man, Curry, something. Mike something Curry. Mark Curry. Is it Mark? Mark Curry. That sounds right. Mark Curry. Yeah. He was there. Yeah, I remember, to go off on a tangent, I think something happened with him like years ago. He almost caught on fire or died with some little accident with like a dryer, and like he burned a lot of his skin. I think his face and stuff was cool, but he was like really depressed about that for a while. if I remember correctly.
Just a tangent. Have you ever seen Trevor Noah's wife?
I have not.
Dude, it's Minka Kelly.
Oh, maybe I have seen her. That name sounds familiar.
She's Jeter used to date her.
Oh, boy.
She's a fucking 10. What does this guy have to complain about? Like, I just don't understand.
I gotta look her. Oh, I can't because I got my damn.
You come to this country, you make millions of dollars, you're an entertainer, you marry a fucking
Could you share
certified
a
10. Yeah. And you America's bad. Fuck you, Trevor Noah.
Well,
asshole.
I mean, that's how you know you have either somebody that's incredibly ungrateful and incredibly shit. And bro, what have I been telling you about these race hunters?
Mm-hmm.
Who do they end up with?
Yep, every time.
Every time. 100 out of 100.
Yep.
Who do they end up with?
It's true. It's so true. It's never like he's not dating a proud black woman.
No,
he's just dating a hot white chick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know her, but she looks pretty normal. Like she just looks like a basic white bitch. Like she looks, you know what I mean? Like she was a popular girl in our high school, did pageants, maybe played lacrosse.
Yeah, certified 10 is probably 10 is I would say she's that same, like I said, a lot of these girls are adjustable 6s that can make themselves up to look like 8s.
I don't know about that.
8.5.
She's pretty. This girl's pretty attractive.
Adjustable 7s that can make themselves up look like 8.5s, 9s.
I think you're being. I don't know about that.
Could be a bias. I just think the makeup tutorial has just provided so much. She's a pretty girl.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, I would gladly do whatever. Oh, she's been a little ran through. If that's pictures.
I guess so. Yeah.
So look at you. You're sitting there batting cleanup for Jeter, and not the way A-Rod used
to. Batting cleanup. So I guess she's with Trevor. So she dated Brian White. I don't know who that is. Donald Faison of Scrubs fame.
You're batting cleanup for Derek Jeter and the dude from Scrubs, my man.
Chris Evans, Captain America.
Captain America.
John Mayer.
Oh, man.
John Mayer been through all of them.
Now I get it. Now I see. Now it makes sense. Everything makes sense about Trevor Noah. This is why he hates white. This is why he hates white people. Because he's sitting here and he knows deep down he's the simp for her. He's the cash out plan for some white girl. After all his posturing, he knows that she'll never love him like she did probably any of those guys.
Jeter. Fucking
Jeter and Captain America.
I mean, come on. Let's be real. Bro. There's no way you're fucking her as good as Jeter.
Or Captain fucking America.
But definitely, at least Captain America is an actor. Like, Jeter is the real deal. He's like the greatest athlete of the 20th century, arguably. You know what I mean? Like, he's like in the conversation.
No. I thought Jeter was overrated. He's a great baseball player. He's a Hall of Fame level baseball player. We'll leave it at that.
The best shortstop ever.
No.
I know that's not true, but he's the most clutch, the most reliable. Like, he's so valuable.
He was a really valuable, really good player for a lot of years. I don't want to undercut what he did, but no, man.
I mean, all right, we don't have to get into it here. I think it's worth having the conversation that he's one of the best athletes of the 20th century. And if he's not one of the best, top 20, let's say.
Oh, no. I would say top 150.
150? No, dude. Come on, man.
Of the 20th century? Athletes?
Yeah.
Look at Babe Ruth was in the 20th century. Like,
okay. No, wait, dude. Jeter is...
Michael Jordan? Wait, we could go... There's like Tiger Woods.
I know. He's still in the conversation. He's still in the conversation.
You're not even thinking about... Like Carl Yastrzemski and shit. There's all sorts of motherfuckers. Dale Earnhardt.
I still don't think. Okay, Jeter's got 5 World Series championships. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's worth the conversation. I mean, is he
top
Tom
50.
Brady?
I'll
but
he top 50. I'll do that much. I can't do top 20.
14-time All-Star, 5 Gold Gloves, 5 Silver Sluggers.
Fucking like
he's in the
Larry Birds exists. You said athlete.
I know.
If you said top 20 baseball player, I would give you that. I can live with top 20
he's
baseball
in
player.
the top athletes. No, athletes.
Man.
He's in the 3,000 hit club.
He's a great player. This is a
World Series MVP. World Series MVP, man.
I'll name, if you want, I can name the 20. All right. Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Bo Jackson, if you want to go there, but if you want to take Bo Jackson out.
All running backs.
Okay, no, we can go. Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Tom Brady,
Wayne Gretzky,
John Elway, Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, Wayne Gretzky. Fucking shit. While I'm doing that,
Muhammad Ali.
I haven't mentioned Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
Bird.
You know what I mean?
Magic. He's in the conversation. Mike Tyson. He's in the conversation.
Floyd Mayweather.
Jeter is in the conversation. Man.
I'll give you that. Man, I don't know.
He's in the conversation. I can't. Either. Okay. The fact that we're having the argument means there's something there, and that's the guy who used to fuck your girlfriend.
When you break it down like that, that's what makes it sick.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the dude who used to bang your chick. You're not fucking her as good as Derek Jeter. I'm sorry, you're just not doing it. There's no way.
Probably not, no.
Dude, World Series MVP. That guy, like the strain, like the level of like pressure that guy flourished under. Nah, man, you're making little shitty.
Thank
pot
you, Mike
shots
DiCario. I was just about to say he wasn't the best player on the team. Mariano, if that team doesn't have Mariano Rivera, Jeter doesn't have 5 rings. There's no argument against it.
Team sport. I agree with that, but no single doesn't matter. Ichiro, one of the greatest baseball players ever, didn't win rings. It doesn't. It's a team sport. You can't. No one single player is not going to turn a team into a champion team. That's not how it works. The Mets maybe have right now. The Mets have one of the best pitchers ever in Jake DeGrom, and like he's having one of the best. Historic,
fucking like Bob
season.
Gibson, another guy on the list.
Yeah,
it's not that we haven't mentioned. We could listen. I think we could come up with the 50.
Look at Red Shirt saying Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Cy Young, Hank Aaron, Sandy Koufax, and that's just baseball off the top of his head. I mean, look, all great points.
And didn't mention
Jeter
Willie
is
Mays
in the conversation.
No, he's not. He's a
he
tier
is.
down. This is like saying
No.
I'm trying to think of a guy.
No way.
This is like saying like Hakeem Olajuwon is one of the greatest athletes ever. He's a great basketball player. He was really good for an era. But when you start going to athletes, fuck Michael Phelps. All these other guys. You know who else should be on this list if we're going to talk athletes? Ironically enough, Caitlyn fucking Jenner. Bruce Jenner won like 8 gold medals.
That's a good point. Can't fucking hate that.
Oh, I'm not. You said 20th. You said 20th. Okay, I'll leave some of the new. There you go. 20th.
I still think he's in the conversation. Maybe he doesn't make the cut, but I think he's there. He's like you have to.
Okay,
you have to vote him out.
As far as I can give you,
right.
I can say if you name all the athletes that are in the conversation, his name will be mentioned. But I could not say he's a guaranteed top 20, top 50 maybe.
Top 50 athletes of the 20th century.
And that's still prestigious as shit.
That's pretty prestigious.
That's still prestigious as shit. I can
of
make
the 20th century, yeah.
Of the 20th century. There's a lot of great athletes. That's really the point.
There's a fucking magic about that guy, man. There was something about that guy. Like he didn't have the best numbers, he didn't have like the best statistics, but when it was down to who's gonna fucking get this ribby to get us ahead, fucking Jeter would do it every time. Every fucking time. It was like magic. It was unreal.
I have a hot take. He's not even the best clutch hitter in Yankees history. Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, the Yankees, though. I mean, Jesus Christ, the Yankees. But even Reggie Jackson was only how many years was Reggie Jackson?
2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
probably maybe more than that. But
you can't compare. Like Jeter spent his whole career as a Yankee, 20 years or whatever it was, 5 championships. You know, routinely the division leader in the playoffs. I understand. Yeah, all right. It does get, but still, it's like you can't diminish this guy's impact on.
I'm not diminishing him. I have excuse the term, based level. He's not a bum. I'm not gonna go with the Jeter's a bum. Jeter's a bum. I'm not gonna go with that. He was there was a time where he was very relevant defensively as well as offensively. I got to give him credit for doing that. He made some incredible plays at shortstop.
Incredible.
That were also
always at the right time. Always at the right time. Somehow He fucking never. It's just Indian girl. I love how this evolved from Trevor Noah's psycho girlfriend. Lol,
but
we don't even know if she's psycho. She could be amazing. I just like to laugh at Trevor Noah. That there's no way.
This just shows you how like Trevor. No, he's not her. Trevor Noah is so obviously the everything, and no one else wanted to marry me. No one else took me seriously, guy. He's so obviously that he probably knows and is angry. There's no amount of money that will kill that anger.
That meme. It's like that meme, like when the woman is at the guy's door and she's pregnant with a kid and she's ringing on the doorbell and she's like, "Yeah, I'd like to settle down now."
Yes,
right. Like now that she's like ran through all these Hollywood superstars and none of them would wife her. Yeah. Like, well, now I'll settle down with you, Trevor.
I'll settle with Trevor Noah. You're my. I love you, Trevor. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah. I mean, I'll settle for you. I still think about Jeter blowing my back out, but yeah.
Yeah. Islington girl brings up a good point. She had that many high class dudes. Nah, it's her. I bet she's bad news. There's something to be said about that.
Could be. That's a lot of dudes to run through.
Yeah, because you would think. I mean, you get to Captain America from a female standpoint. Aren't you trying to like husband him up?
You would think.
Jeter, you probably know you can't.
I thought they were going to at one point. I thought they were going to get married.
You know what? Now that I think about it, try to put my memory. Yeah, that was like one of his serious little things.
Yeah. I thought they were going to get married. She could be nuts. Who knows? Mike DeCarlo says, wasn't A-Rod better at shortstop and let Jeter stay at shortstop? Listen.
Yes.
No.
But to be fair, here's what
that was fucking Jeter's team. It was Jeter's position. A-Rod did
put up better offensive numbers, but at that point,
he's not.
A-Rod
but he's a fucking. That's the thing. He's worthless. Like, those numbers were incredible.
He could not play shortstop at that point.
But he could.
Looking back, it sounded crazy.
Not even that, but dude, he was the worst in the playoffs. Like his playoffs numbers were fucking horrible.
They still are terrible. I think he had one like not shitty, but they were really shitty. And at that point,
bad. And would like not only would he not get the clutch hit, he would like bounce into a double play.
Yeah,
he fucking sucked. A-Rod was maybe the most overrated player in baseball history.
I'm not gonna fight as hard with the Jeter. I'll tell you that, because he, he was a really, really good player. Kind of for the whole steroid era. I'm a steroid era guy who says, "Fuck it, I don't care what they did. They were all sweet."
Whatever.
But like, I will fight back on that shortstop. At that point, he was too big to fuck him. He was barely playing short. He was great when he was with the Mariners.
No one's coming into fucking Jeter's Yankees and playing shortstop other than Jeter.
Yeah, I agree with that. And again,
what are you fucking talking about? I don't care how good you are.
He wasn't.
He's defense. He might be the best shortstop in Yankee history. He's so fucking good. I know he wasn't even that good. It was just what he did.
He's one of the best clutch players of all time. I'll give you that. That is
so unbelievably important. And there was a magic around that guy. There was an aura, and he elevated people around him. He was I mean, look, I'm a Met fan. I fucking hate the Yankees, but it's like that guy.
Oh, really? I assumed you were a Yankee fan the way you were just waxing poetic about him.
No, but I had to watch that guy. Like I watched year in, year out, just murder, man. It's like you can't deny it. Like you can't sit there and like put down like what the guy did. He's a fucking incredible athlete. It's like he's a winner. He's a fucking pure winner.
I would say, he's one of those athletes, and it's similar with Tom Brady, but at least Brady has more numbers to back him up. Even though Jeter has some sweet years.
He's a Brady type guy, man. It's like that kind of just doesn't know how to lose.
He does something. There's something about when guys like that are on the team.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you feel like we got a chance to win the title.
Absolutely.
Just
every
he's
time.
on the team.
Just because he's there.
And it's hard to say. It's like other people do get better, and it's like I don't know why, but they do. He makes his teammates better, which is which is something in baseball you actually cannot do.
Yes,
outside of maybe pitchers.
And you know who's no one's talking about that? Like Trevor Noah.
No
one's talking about that. Trevor Noah.
He will never be. He's not even as impactful on pop culture as Donald Faison because Scrubs is beloved.
Fuck yeah! I love Turk.
If they replace Trevor Noah tomorrow, he would be forgotten about.
100%.
You know what I mean? He's not if they found a lesbian woman of trans, a trans woman of color, and they say, you know what? You shall be Trevor Noah. All of the little pub he has goes to her. Mika probably goes back to fucking Jeter on the side.
She probably fucks the trans woman.
She might. Who knows?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like it's like Amy Schumer. It's like this manufactured status that's only there because like the establishment says you get to have it. But there's not enough fan base, not enough love. It doesn't make like it's not merit based. It's not like, we're clamoring to hear what Trevor Noah's got to say. Or, we need the new Amy Schumer special. It's like, no, I mean, they just told you get to have it.
Yeah, you were chosen.
You were chosen. You were anointed. I got to wrap it up, my friend. I got to get going.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
So this was fucking awesome. This
is fun.
Banger episode of the Culture.
Yeah, I like our in-show debates that triple into nothing. Last week it was about dating, and now it's about like Jeter's status of a great athlete.
I love it. And there was one time we were talking about like how can woke culture end? And we totally disagreed. I think those debates are really fun.
Yeah, and Bo Jackson, like I was looking at his numbers. Just the idea that he could be an all-star in football and baseball is insane.
That's pretty nuts. Who was the other one? Deion Sanders.
Deion did it too. Deion was in the fucking World Series.
Yeah.
And for the Yankees. He was in the World. He played in the World Series game in the Super Bowl. That was an insane thing.
That's crazy. I think I saw Deion one time. I think I saw him like
prime time.
I think I saw him play baseball one time. I think I was young.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. Yeah, that's a different time though. Sports was just different back then.
Sports is so much cooler there.
Yeah, Eric K. Bo knows sports. Bo does know sports.
Man. Sport, and I mean, I know you got to end, but that's a whole nother thing. The fall of sports is that's one that gets me. Yeah, that gets me right in the heart.
It really does, man. It's almost like I don't know. It's like evolving with culture. It's like that's why like MMA is maybe like the only like sport left because it's the only one that's like not like controlled. I mean, it's a media conglomerate, but it's not like the NBA where they're what was that thing that they were putting on their jerseys, like some kind of economics or something.
Group economics.
Yeah,
they were putting it was racial injustice, change, and then someone put group economics on their jersey, and I'm like, really, guy?
Yeah, like, did you even go to college? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, a lot of them will go for the like semester they have to stay. And then once they know they're drafted, they just like don't really go to class.
Yeah, of course. They're athletes. It's just which is fine. But like don't lecture me.
Yeah.
Like you don't have an education. You're an athlete, which is fine. But like don't point the finger at me.
This isn't your wheelhouse. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna tell you how to shoot jumpers.
No.
Or what drills you should be doing or your nutrition. I'm not gonna tell you any of that shit because you're an athlete. You know more about this than me. Don't tell me how to live my life.
Yeah, it's like that Rick and Morty joke where it's like, listen, I throw balls far. You want good words? Date a languager. But it's like that. It's like, yeah, like you're an athlete. Like that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to give me economics lectures.
Yeah.
I really don't need that. Same goes for you, David Harbour. Shut the fuck up, you clown.
Man.
No one who could disagree with the tenets of socialism. Yeah,
no one can disagree with socialism, but
you know who disagrees with who disagrees with the ideas of socialism? People who've lived in socialist countries.
Yes,
they tend to disagree. Yeah, fucking asshole. All right, let's wrap it up. This was another wonderful episode of the Culture Crime Fighters. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You're beautiful, and I love you. Got Eric K, just another red shirt. The Islington girl, thank you so much for your super chats. Thank you, Eric K, for your super chats. Thundercats Ho, Anthroparian, Mike DiCarlo. Did I say Lord Thoth? I said Lord Thoth.
Yeah, Lord Thoth.
And all you wonderful people for hanging out with us. The Snorter Poopus, this was terrific. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you check us out next week. We have a guest next week?
I don't know.
Maybe
we
might.
Guest that we should have had like a month ago, and we just haven't.
Yeah,
and we need to probably reach out to him.
We do. Yeah, you're right. We need to schedule that. So hopefully that'll be next week on Vigilante's channel.
No, wait, I can't do it. I cannot do all guests. We have to put a guest on your channel. I have done literally all the guests.
Whatever. I don't care. Just want to make the show good, man. That's all.
That's not equitable, Matt. It's not equity. We need equity on this thing.
We need equity in the culture crime fighters. That's what we're fighting for. Equity. Well, yeah. Anyway, next week, Vigilante's channel, whether guest or not, make sure you check us out there. And also Spotify, iTunes, you can catch the culture crime fighters on those platforms if you don't have the time to check us out on YouTube. And keep an eye out for Vigilante Williamson's new review of I don't know what it's of, but it's coming out.
And it'll be out, hopefully. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace out, everybody. This was amazing. Thank you so much. Love you guys, and we'll see you all soon. Come back, MF for Cocktail Lounge Friday.
Yes, come back Friday.
Later.
All right. Yeah, my girl Anita was first. Shout out to Anita.